they believed truly happened, Katie would take to Twitter to drop a 10-page document to counter their claims. However, it only brought more questions than answers. She started the doc by countering George's point about consent being non-verbal. Specifically, she made a point about the lack of verbal consent equaling no consent, reading, "He admitted to touching me, that I was drunk, that I verbally didn't consent. In my mind, the conversation is over," unquote. Right off the bat, Katie was trying to invalidate George's account by limiting the discussion to solely verbal consent and ignoring the several other signs that she supposedly gave at the time. I'm sure looking back, George wishes he could have quit from the situation. However, that's not the only thing our generation needs to be quitting. Say goodbye to your bad habits a delightful way with today's sponsor, The Fume, the award-winning device that's all natural. At the start, I wasn't sure what to think about it, but after trying the maple peppercore for the first time, I was completely sold. Instead of using electronics, Fume is completely natural. Instead of using vapor, Fume uses flavored air. And instead of using harmful chemicals, Fume uses all natural delicious flavors. You get the deal. Experience the ultimate relaxation with Fume's adjustable airflow dial and fidget-friendly design, perfect for easing stress and anxiety as you reshape your habits. Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 150,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. For a limited time, use my code InternetAnarchist to get 10% off a journey pack, and use code InternetAnarchist or use a QR code on screen to save 10% off your order today. With that being said, let's get back into the video. Katie then goes on to admit that she withheld information when she initially presented her allegation, and only planned on using it if he didn't admit to touching her. This means that Katie knew people on the internet would figure out that she was talking about George, and she wanted him to face the consequences of people who heard her story. In her address to George's stream, Katie attempted to discredit the evidence he presented by stating it was from a group chat he wasn't involved in, and by remarking that the game wasn't relevant, despite the fact she claimed to use it as an escape in her allegation. Katie continues by explaining why she returned to the hotel the second time, stating, "I heard of a different creator who was in the room I wanted to meet," a detail she claims to have forgotten while presenting the serious accusations. After relaying some of the messages between them, Katie would then admit to leaving out key information in the form of not mentioning George's other friend who was present, but she justified it by saying, quote, "He left early, which is why I didn't mention him. He left before anything really happened." However, Katie claims that he sent a message to someone who was also present, which read, quote, "I'm currently watching George 26 cuddle with Katie 18, unquote. Another admission from Katie that she indeed cuddled George, and while he initiated most of it, she would be the one to start a few herself. Reading, "A lot of the cuddling he may have felt was personal, but was just me being drunk." The next point was why Katie didn't move if she felt uncomfortable. According to Katie, she returned to the sofa because, quote, "Even if I were to move, that would be an obvious hit to his ego, to him, and everyone in the room. A bold move I didn't need to make," unquote. For the rest of the document, Katie continued to invalidate the nonverbal cues that George noticed by either stating that it was due to nerves, being drunk, or that she intentionally used them to hide a supposed discomfort. Reading, "I was chilling in the moment because I was drunk. I don't know. I know I have to ponder on it." Finally, Katie would acknowledge that her friend group had already hated Dream and George by stating, "Her friends influenced her because they hate us. I wonder why. The hatred grew because of what happened to me," unquote. The story presented in her latest response drastically differs from what she presented in her initial allegations. At first, she made it seem like she'd given clear signs of discomfort, but was framing her story to include her hiding her discomfort. This is a massive departure from what she initially brought forward, and there are a lot of unanswered questions that came with it. Why did she frame the situation as more predatory than it actually was? How did she overlook so many crucial details in her allegations? And why would she switch from saying that she was visibly uncomfortable to claiming she was intentionally keeping it hidden but expected George to pick up on it? However, these questions would go unanswered, as dozens of users on Twitter would fixate on the lack of verbal consent and proceed to pass judgment on George, with tweets reading, "Am I missing something? If George himself confirmed he inappropriately touched her, what's left to discuss?" As well as this, "He was irresponsible as a content creator with a huge platform and an adult in general. She was a visibly young, drunk teenager who he didn't know that never clearly consented to anything. That's confirmed information, and now he is here trying to question if clear consent is necessary." As well as, "The new discussion is whether or not a drunk 18-year-old can consent without explicitly saying so," to which the answer is obviously no, they cannot, and touching them in a sexual manner without said consent is assault. People were more likely to believe Katie's story and not question it as much as they did with George's side. Because of this, George felt pressured to make a tweet that ended up making things even worse for him. On the 12th of March 2024, George released a Twitter post that would prove to be his biggest mistake, an apology to appeal to all the negativity that he was receiving. Quote, "Since reading Katie's newest post, my perspective on that night and my overall conclusion has massively changed as she introduced new information that I was not aware of at all before. I have much more I will say, but for now, Katie, I am sorry. I am so sorry." Unquote. Whether George realized it or not, simply admitting to any form of wrongdoing was enough for everyone who thought that he was guilty of the assault to justify their conclusions. This was only made worse by the statements of his two closest friends, Sapnap and Dream, both opting to side with Katie. In his Twitter post, Sapnap writes, "I don't think that George is a bad person. I don't think that he had evil intentions. But it doesn't matter if your actions caused pain. Please give all your love and support to Katie as she deserves it." Unquote. While Dream would create a Twitter space in which he further disavowed his friend.
I do not think that George is a bad person. I do not think that George was sitting there thinking, oh, she's not going to like this, or, anything. I think that he did something fucked up. I think that what happened was fucked up. I think that it was terrible. And I think that I feel terrible for any involvement that I had, and I feel terrible for Katie. It is a terrible situation. It is a terrible thing, the pain that she feels, and there's nothing that I can do to change that. There's nothing that George can do to change that. And that's fucked up. That is incredibly fucked up.
By the 16th of March 2024, George would upload his second response to the allegations. And while he made some critical clarifications in the video, he also made some avoidable mistakes.
For those of you who don't know, Katie Boggs recently did a stream and accused me of something very serious. I made a response and then she made a follow-up response. This is my response to her follow-up. Throughout this video, I'm going to be showing clips from some other people just for context. And just to make it clear, I don't want any hate to be sent to anyone, including these.
Following this, George would comment on various aspects of Katie's post, like the drinking game, the reason she wanted to come to the hotel, and their messages afterwards.
Next, she shows our Instagram DMs, and she said that a reason she kept messaging me in a friendly way for a while after this whole thing happened was because, and this is a quote, she felt lucky to be talking to a verified account, someone famous, someone I had followed and watched for a while. Now, this is not something that I was thinking about at all. I wasn't aware that she ever watched my content in the past. That was never brought up. This actually makes me feel pretty bad. The only reason she was messaging me was because I have subscribers or something. I would never want that. Again, the only reason I actually brought up us messaging after the fact was to show that we were still friendly afterwards and that I didn't know that she was uncomfortable at the time. She also confirms that we did talk on Snapchat, like I said, but also that nothing really happened there either.
However, George would point out another striking mistake in Katie's post.
So next she agrees with me that she didn't mention my online friend that I just met that day. She said she didn't mention him though because he left early and he didn't even know his name. And she shows a text message that she says is from him from the night where this happened, where he says this. Obviously this is implying that he was kind of uncomfortable with what was happening and also that he knew her age despite just meeting her. And when I first saw this, this actually majorly changed my perspective on the night, because that would mean that my friend was also uncomfortable and somehow knew her age when I didn't. And even though she said that he left early, my memory of it was actually that he was the last to leave, just before me and Katie left. Dream also came to me and mentioned that this changed his perspective of the night as well, because that would mean that he was essentially the only person that wasn't uncomfortable.
This prompted George to call his friend to clarify things, and what he said would only poke more holes in Katie's post.
There is a text that is claimed to be from you.
Yeah, I didn't send that text. I found out about it when you sent it to me. But yeah, no, that wasn't me. I don't know where they got that from. I didn't ask them for any of their phone numbers or anything like that.
He continued by giving his observation of what happened that night.
I didn't really notice anything out of the ordinary. I didn't really notice any like bad vibes or anything like that. It was a little playful, maybe a little flirty. I noticed you guys were just kind of like playing with each other and just like kind of cuddled up a little bit on the couch. So I was just, it definitely didn't seem like she was like uncomfortable, you know? I don't know, it seemed like everybody that was there was having a good time, because I mean, we were there pretty late, so I don't really follow like this internet stuff like that, so I'm not up to date with what's going on online. The way she was explaining everything, I mean, at least to me, like it was not like that at all. To me, it kind of seems like a misunderstanding. There wasn't really a thought in my mind that like, oh, this girl like could be in some sort of danger, or she's being like preyed on or anything like that, because yeah, even though George is my friend, if I noticed him doing anything that I wouldn't want someone I'm friends with to do, then I would, you know, I either would say something about it or not be a part of that situation.
When Dream questioned her about the screenshotted message, she claimed it was an error and that the message was from another girl that was at the hotel. With what we know now, that seems highly unlikely. After that, he remarked on when he left the hotel, and it was far from early.
She says that you left early on in the night. Could you talk about that?
I think around like 3 or 3:30, I went to go get tacos. I think I got the party pack or something. For some reason, I couldn't believe I actually went and got tacos. I know for a fact that I got the tacos like extremely late. Like I had to go in their drive-thru, so I was in a car. Like I had to walk through their drive-thru and like order through their speaker. That was fun. I know I left at 5 or very close to that time, because right after 5, I texted Dream that I left open the deadbolt on his door. Right after I left, I texted him that to let him know. I think that was at like 5.
Another unmistakable hole in Katie's post was that her friends had shown apprehension towards her and George's interactions. But when Dream had questioned about it months prior, they said everything was fine.
I've actually had no idea as well that anyone was uncomfortable, and assumed that this tweet was implying Katie was uncomfortable with Dream. He reached out to Ghosty about it, asking what this was even about, and did the same to others, including Katie. Now, I'm not going to be showing Katie's text with Dream, because at the time, Dream had told her that her messages and conversation would not leave their texts. However, here is Dream and Ghosty's conversation about it. I was never brought up or mentioned at all. And also, when Dream makes fun of Harry for being ridiculous and making stuff up because nothing happened and we were all still friends.
George then included a clip of Katie's friend Ghosty addressing what she said in Dream's DMs.
The only time that we had a conversation about anything that had to do with that night was obviously when the stuff with Harry happened. And he texted me asking if it seemed like anything had happened. And I, at the time, said no, because the conversation was not about George. The conversation was about him, and it was about the underage drinking, and it wasn't ever about whether or not Katie, you know, it was always just about him and not George, which is why I said, dude, no, nothing seemed wrong, because he wasn't doing anything wrong, and I can stand by that. I will stand by that comment, and I said that in one of my posts that, you know, like it wasn't him. That was our conversation. It was never about George. It was about him and the Harry situation.
Now there were 2 major misrepresentations in Katie's previous post that painted George in a very negative light and fueled negativity towards him. Despite the fact it doesn't make sense for George to know he made Katie uncomfortable, both when it happened and in the months prior, he still apologized to her again at the end of the video.
The level of intimacy that we had together was the furthest that she'd experienced, but to me, it was quite tame. And when I say this, I am not trying to devalue how she feels about this at all. I'm just trying to point out that we clearly viewed things differently. And this is something that I have learned from now, and I will be taking very seriously moving forward. And I am truly sorry, Katie, for not realizing this and not taking this difference into account. It is clearly something that is extremely important to you, and I'm sorry. Even after everything I've just said, things would be very different if I could just say that I had asked her if she was comfortable and she had said yes. But the fact is, I never did ask this. As I mentioned, there were a lot of things that she said she thought that I wasn't aware of, that if I had known, would have changed a lot. And going forward, this will be something that I take into account in every interaction I have with anyone, sexual or not. I am sorry, Katie, and I'm sorry for how this will affect you going forward. And I'm sorry that everything got to this point. but I just hope that after hearing my perspective, you can understand that I never had any bad intentions and never meant to hurt you.
Unfortunately, Katie wouldn't share this perspective, as she'd go live on the 24th of March 2024 in an attempt to not just debunk George's story, but pile on with new allegations.
One biggest thing that I want to clear up, it is fucking sexual assault, okay? I'm not gonna apologize, say that it isn't sexual assault, that I'm not a sexual assault victim. The touching that he has admitted to many times, this touching that he admitted to not asking or getting my consent before he did, he felt up my tits on a couch with other people there. He stuck his hand up my shirt, under my bra, and felt up, fondled, whatever you want to say. He felt up my tits. Unwanted sexual touch is literally in the definition of sexual assault. It's fucking sexual assault, and I'm never gonna apologize for saying it is, okay? It isn't fake allegations. It's not fake allegations. I'm not a liar. Quite literally, the thing that I was talking about is my sexual assault, and that's the one thing he confirmed. He can sit there.
She'd spend the next hour backtracking many misrepresented claims from her previous post, aggressively calling George an assaulter and accusing him of things she had never brought up before. No matter how you look at it, there was an air of malice in how Katie misrepresented every instance of allegations and changed parts of it when they were proved to be false or exaggerated. Unfortunately for her, people would pick up on this and rightfully call her out for it. With tweets reading, "George not found's accuser Katie is back changing her story again because apparently George now, quote, felt up her tit." Seems like a really big detail to leave out of your first two attempts to paint George out as a sexual assaulter. She seems quite happy to be accusing and changing her stories. Nothing about her is honest. She's an insult to real victims, as well as, I actually can't with the way she has described this. The follower count up on screen, the language she used in the initial story, the hate she's coming with now. This cancelling of George Not Found has got to be one of the worst online mob trials that I've witnessed in a long time. Absolute embarrassment to good work feminism has done in the past to legitimizing victims. For the first time since Katie started campaigning against George, people had finally taken note of just how much she was altering her story to make him look as predatory as possible, and should respond to this by deleting everything. Katie removed all trace of George from her Twitch account, privated her Twitter account, and disabled comments on her YouTube channel, all in a bid to mitigate the backlash she rightfully deserved. Even though Katie's allegations were proved to be blown out of proportion, they will forever leave a scar on George's career. He's lost hundreds of thousands of subscribers, had a collaboration with Mr. Beast cancelled, and possibly lost any chance at attending future creator conventions, not to mention the dozens of creators that jumped at the opportunity to slander his name. However, it's worth noting that George also played a role in his downfall when he decided to bend the knee to Katie and her fellow accusers. Looking at his channel metrics now, it's unclear if George will ever truly recover from this. But what we do know is that he'll be left alone to rebuild his dying platform. Another Minecraft YouTuber who had his career destroyed by allegations was MWIII. Click the video on screen to find out more, and thank you to Few. MWIII spent years building an incredibly successful career, amassing over 6 million subscribers on YouTube, 4.7 million followers on Twitch, and a band that toured the world. However, after serious allegations surfaced, his entire empire would come crumbling down, as his audience not only would abandon him, but became his new haters. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be covering the story of MWIII, his massive rise to fame, and even bigger fall from grace in the public eye. William Patrick Spencer Gold, who we'll be referring to as Wilbur, was born on the 14th of September 1996. Growing up in the beachside town of Brighton, England, he would be raised by his split parents, who divorced whilst he was in middle school. In 2008, at the age of 12, Wilbur would create his first YouTube channel named Settings 66 alongside his childhood friend Ben, where they would upload typical content for 12-year-olds in 2008. According to Wilbur, they forgot the password and lost access to the channel, leaving it as a glimpse into his life whilst growing up. 3 years later, on the 18th of May 2011, Wilbur would create a new channel named Minecraft and Donuts. The channel was a collaboration with his friend Sophie, where they would upload regular Minecraft content up until 2013, when Wilbur would once again make a new channel, this time titled A Little Bit of Will. The channel would act as a hub for his short films and music videos. His passion for filmmaking and creating would further continue into his development, as he would go on to get a bachelor's degree in editing and post-production. By 2017, Wilbur would create his new channel named Wilbur Music in order to share his music covers.
Do nothing to substitute self-gratification. So a climax with a sigh.
Between the years 2017 and 2019, Wilbur would form a group known as the Soot House, which consisted of a variety of his friends who would make meme-based content. The channel would be a massive success, garnering over 283 million views and over 1 million subscribers. But despite this success, the channel would ultimately be abandoned, with the final upload being on the 29th of July 2019. However, during the Soot House era, he created his own personal channel named Wilbur Soot, where he would publish Minecraft content, with the first video being a collaboration with Jay Schlatt titled Tiny Minecraft 25 Block Survival Challenge.
Something for you to go in there.
Yeah, okay.
I need you to go in there.
It's fine. They didn't even give me any time.
During 2019, PewDiePie would make Minecraft popular again with his incredibly viral Let's Play series that would gain millions of views on each and every episode.
Oh my god. Hey dog. I love you. Come back, I give more steak.
Wilbur's solo channel would initially continue his Minecraft content streak, but in April of 2020, he received an invitation to join a new private Minecraft server, the Dream SMP. This server, created by popular YouTubers Dream and George Not Found, would transform Wilbur's career. His natural charisma and storytelling abilities were a perfect fit for the server's unique concept, role-playing. The Dream SMP propelled Wilbur to fame that he'd never reached before, amassing millions of new subscribers as he seamlessly fit into the storyline and became a well-liked member of the server. Whilst riding off the high from the Dream SMP success, Wilbur would found his indie rock band Lovejoy in May of 2021, posting their debut EP Are You Alright just days after. It wouldn't be long before the band would gain millions of monthly listeners. Wilbur would spend the following 2 years touring the world and making festival appearances with his band. It's more than safe to say that at this point, Wilbur was on top of the world. He built a multi-million subscriber YouTube empire, created a successful world touring band, and was actively becoming a superstar in his own right. However, 2024 would be a turning point for Wilbur's reputation, as little did he know, serious accusations were about to be made against him. On the 21st of February 2024, creator Shelby Shovel would host a stream titled Talking About Something More Serious. Throughout the stream, Shovel would detail her negative experience with her unnamed British ex. She spent the stream educating her audience on early signs of dangerous relationships, wherein she revealed multiple details that led to the audience believing that she was talking about the beloved streamer Wilbur Soot. She stated that during her relationship, her ex was extremely manipulative and would bite her aggressively. Shelby said that at the beginning, she didn't realize it was and would even cover for him by telling others that it was fun. However, as the biting went on, it would get to a point where he allegedly had to change locations in order to not bite the bruises and marks left from previous bites. At this point, her friends began to tell her that what was going on wasn't normal, and she would go on to learn that she was actually being in a relationship.
When I hear about physical, I think of hitting. I think of hitting and punching. So I thought that this wasn't violent enough to be. I thought that it was just like a constant accident that he kept hurting me. But he's not hitting me. And it didn't start as something that he did to hurt me. He had this habit of biting, which is so weird to me now, but he said that he had this habit since he was a kid, and even his mom said that that was true. And he said it was just affectionate, and that might have been, I mean, I think that might have been true maybe at the start, but I also feel that I have good reason to believe that every part of it was a lie, but that's just my personal opinion. And I had no problem with just biting. That isn't even the most uncommon thing. But he did mention something early that I should have taken as a red flag. And he wanted to make sure that I was okay with him biting me because he didn't want me to come back later and say that he to me, which I thought was really weird considering he had never hurt me before. And so why would I call it? And why was he thinking about that? And I thought he was being sweet, checking on me to make sure that I was still comfortable. But of course I was, because he hadn't hurt me. And why would I think he ever would?
According to Shelby, the pair eventually started using a safe word for her to say when Wilbur's biting tendencies got too painful. However, despite that, in the final months of their relationship, he would allegedly always bite to the point where she was forced to say it.
He had, now at this point, weaponized the safe word and was using it to ensure that I was hurt and on a constant basis. And he wasn't sorry anymore. I couldn't even tell you the last time he had apologized for doing it anymore, because now sometimes he would bite me and I would yell out the safe word because it hurt so bad, and he'd clamp down even harder. And just for a second, just for good measure, before letting go. And sometimes I'd say the safe word and he'd grind his teeth down on my skin. And sometimes he'd smile after. Like a gloating grin. And during this time, I was filled with so much anxiety all the time that I was constantly nauseous.
To make matters worse, Shelby also claimed he would joke about it looking like he abused her.
Would even joke that it looked like he abused me. And eventually he did acknowledge how bad it looked, that I was covered in bruises all the time. So he stopped biting my arms as often, and he started biting my legs instead. And it was in the last couple of months of the relationship that every time he bit me, it was until I needed to use this safe word. It had become his benchmark for when to stop. Only once I was definitely hurt, which meant I was being hurt every single day, multiple times a day, for all of the days that we spent together in person. And when I asked him to stop again, this time he said, "This is who he is. He isn't going to change." Those were his words.
Following the stream, viewers would start investigating who this abusive ex could possibly be, and with various details lining up, it was quickly becoming evident that she was talking about Wilbur. Over the following week, many of Wilbur's fanbase had turned against him. However, one post would make things a whole lot worse. On the 27th of February 2024, Wilbur Soot would make a tweet reading, "In the past week, a series of allegations have been made over my conduct from an ex-girlfriend. I want to emphasize that although I feel it fair to offer my perspective, this person's feelings are completely valid. I have taken my time sharing the statement as I wanted to process and respond respectfully and with the hope to gain a deeper understanding for the situation. During our relationship's final months, I regrettably became slobbish, disrespectful, and selfish. These actions caused a lot of pain to my ex-girlfriend, and I've since sought therapy to address these behaviors, making significant lifestyle changes to rectify my past actions. I've come to realize how much my past behavior hurt this person, but I truly, compassionately believe I've made great strides from the person I once was, and hope I can continue to grow and improve on this trajectory. The allegation of particularly in the form of biting, deeply shocked me. Throughout our relationship, I understood from our numerous conversations and text message exchanges on the subject that this behavior was consensual, playful, and reciprocally enjoyed. I truly believe those personal message exchanges reflect mutual affection and understanding. Out of respect for her, I choose not to publish them, and I emphasize my perspective is not shared to diminish or invalidate anyone's feelings. Instead, I share it in the hope that I can offer genuine, fair, and relevant insight into to my understanding of the situation. While I may perceive our interactions differently, I recognize that this person has processed and expressed feelings of hurt. I want to extend my sincerest apologies for any pain that I caused. I am fully committed to understanding and addressing her concerns going forwards. I hope my perspective sheds light on the situation without detracting from its message. I am dedicated to earning and maintaining the trust of those around me, and hope I continue to be held to these high standards I wish to attain and maintain. Will. It's more than safe to say that the community was not impressed with Wilbur's response, with the main criticism being how much he focused on defending himself and stating that he has, quote, changed, and not enough focusing on his alleged negative actions that brought him into the situation to begin with, as Wilbur specifically didn't admit to abusing her, and instead said he had texts that made it seem mutually enjoyed, consensual, and playful. However, some of the responses were almost as controversial as the apology itself. Minecraft YouTuber Dream would receive criticism for responding to the situation by instantly taking Shovel's side and taking the moral high ground above Wilbur, with lyrics tweeting, "Dream, the guy who was falsely accused of being a and just 2 months ago, is taking Shovel's side against Wilbur Soot and calling him an accuser with no evidence. Dude, what is happening?" On top of this, Dream conveniently posted proof that he had donated his last video's revenue to a charity for victims of assault, a move that was clearly PR and business-based rather than a genuine display of proof. Lyrics' tweet would spark a discussion about accusations being used as evidence, as a community note on Wilbur's post would state Shovel's word as concrete evidence, despite Wilbur stating a different story, with another tweet from Lyrics reading, "Wilbur's response to the allegations by saying everything was consensual based on his understanding got community noted, just because his ex said it wasn't. Woman's word is gospel and is taken as fact. Literally no screenshots, nothing, just testimony got him community noted. Numbers don't lie, and by looking at Wilbur's social blade, it's evident that he's lost over 220,000 subscribers in the last 30 days alone, more subscribers than he gained throughout the entire previous year. Just as things seemed at an all-time low for Wilbur, it would get even worse, as on the 9th of March 2024, even more accusations would be targeted towards him. In a tweet from user Alice Nyanya, she shared her experiences dating Wilbur back in 2019, reading, "Hello, I'm Alice. I dated Wilbur back in 2019 and I want to speak out about my experience. I felt like I couldn't talk about this sooner because I was scared of his public influence and the potential backlash from fans. But now after hearing Shelby's story, seeing the support she's been shown, and admiring her bravery, I finally feel safe to break from my silence on our relationship. Back in 2019, at the beginning of the relationship, I was immediately shown a lot of affection, very reminiscent of love bombing. One of his close friends at the time warned me in confidence to, quote, be careful, unquote, as if they had seen people get hurt in the past, but I believed he was good inside. After a month, the honeymoon period was over and it was like I was dating a completely different person. I was told to keep our relationship a secret, but was framed in a way that implied it was for my safety, as if it was in my best interest to keep this secret despite my own feelings. I believed that he enjoyed having control in the relationship, or would have to hide as he streamed and sit silently in the corner of his room waiting for him to go offline. He would say condescending things to me about my interests and the type of content I created, as if he didn't take it, or me, seriously, and would only be enthusiastic about his future plans with music and desire for fame. I never felt like he was encouraging towards me or any of my goals, and in the last few months, he'd made me feel extremely unlovable and unwanted. I suffered with self-harm tendencies in 2019. He ignored the marks on my body and only took interest in retelling his own life struggles. I also experienced the biting habit, which has already been elaborated on by Shelby. After a while, I noticed that it was always me putting effort into the relationship, so I decided one day to not be the one to message first, just to see what would happen, and he never spoke to me again, so the relationship dissolved. Skipping ahead to 2021, we'd spoken briefly over an Instagram DM about the relationship and moving up for closure on how things went in 2019. I gave him a second chance and met up hoping to get some answers. We walked through densely populated areas of town where we got stopped multiple times by his fans. In hindsight, this felt very intentional, almost as if he wants to flaunt his influence and desirability to me. We went to a bar to talk, and then he proceeded to get me very drunk. He got us an Uber back to his house. I ended up blacking out on his bed due to the alcohol, but the last thing I remember was him unconsensually removing my clothes. The next morning, he proceeded to tell me that I must be a lesbian because I wasn't interested in him. These past years have been extremely difficult to navigate because of this. place. I couldn't go online without seeing him everywhere and being adored as this soft boy who heroically respects women and mental health issues. I couldn't even go to conventions and enjoy my own hobbies without seeing people dressed up as him. Shelby was right. Staying quiet wasn't bringing me any peace. It was only keeping his. The tweet would garner a lot of support from the community, receiving upwards of 65,000 likes and various comments in support of her, including one from Shovel reading, "I'm so sorry this happened to you. I'm with you." The implosion of Wilbur Soot's career will be a moment to remember for years to come, and if he doesn't somehow come out with a long response disproving the allegations, displaying the proof he claimed he had earlier, and winning his audience back, it's safe to say that not only his career is ruined, but his entire life. His career would go on as a prime example of how quickly an audience can abandon their favorite creator in the wake of serious allegations, and how a poor response can make the situation 10 times worse. From touring the world to being exiled by the internet, the future for Wilbur looks grim to say the least. Eric faked his content and doxed someone. Click the video on screen to find out more.
Kill confirmed. Friendly Overwatch
Reloading.
inbound.
Throwing Semtex.
Friendly remote turret deployed. The mission is half complete. Station friendly counter UAV is online. Confirmed that one.
Enemy armor box destroyed.
Tag secure. Kill confirmed.
What's your bloody projectile fire? Ugh. Don't shoot me, you bastard.
Friendly mosquito deployed. Friendly UAV on station. Friendly cruise missile deployed.
So I did a video last week about Christy Nome, and for those who don't know, she killed her puppy. And after she was done killing her puppy, she killed her goat. And she wrote about this in her book, No Going Back, and really it's an appropriate title because there's no going back after she came out with this. But she defended herself saying, no, it's cool, guys. I also just killed 3 horses last week or recently or whatever. So she's killing animals left and right, but she's not done because according to CBS News, Governor Kristi Noem suggests Biden's dog Commander should be shot too. Commander, say hello to Cricket. Kristi, what are we doing here? So South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, facing criticism for a story in her new book about killing her dog, suggested that President Biden should do the same with his former dog, Commander. Okay, so she doesn't necessarily want to kill Commander. She just wants Biden to kill Commander. Okay. In her book, Noem writes about killing her dog. Okay, we know that. A 14-month-old wire-haired pointer named Cricket after the dog had shown aggressive behavior. Noem also writes that if she got to the White House, she would say, Commander, say hello to Cricket. Okay. So that makes it more clear. So what they're saying is, if she were to become the vice president for Trump, she would kill Commander. Because I guess that she thinks that there's just a White House dog that's there, regardless of the administration. I mean, no, it's literally Biden's dog. It's a White House dog because there's this tradition where presidents adopt a dog while they're president. But he's gonna take Commander with him. She's chomping at the bit. She wants to kill more animals. The woman is not okay. Now we learned that because I brought this up when I was talking about her. Did nobody tell her not to talk about this? Well, apparently her team said, don't talk about the dog killing. It's not going to go over well. But she insisted that she has to talk about killing her dog and her animals, her goat, and wanting to kill other dogs. This is just such a wild story. And even as shocking as the details are, as gruesome as the details are, I still can't get over the fact that she chose to share this on her own volition, even against the advice of her own staff. It's so crazy. Kristi Noem's story about killing her dog made headlines across America, but it wasn't news to people who worked on her first book, where the tale made it into a draft of the memoir before the publishing team nixed it. Then, as now, Noem wanted the story in because it showed she's not fucking going with it. It showed a decisive person who was unwilling to be bound by namby-pamby niceties, while others on the team, which included agents, editors, and publicists at Hatchet Book Group's Prestige 12 imprint and a ghostwriter, saw it as a bad taste anecdote that would hurt her brand. The tale was ultimately cut, according to two people involved in the project. So I was misunderstanding it. I assumed that for this book, they didn't want her to put it in, but she put it in anyway. But in a different book that she wrote, she's written multiple books now. I don't know what she has to say or what the ghostwriter has to say about her. Regardless, the first time it got cut, but this time she's like, listen, I compromised. Okay, I got rid of the dog killing story. I'm keeping that shit in there this time. It is so fucking weird to me. In other words, they produced a typical pre-campaign book where the first rule is to do no harm, somewhat unusually for the genre. That book 2022's Not My First Rodeo, Lessons from the Heartland. This is like an AI-generated politician book. Jesus Christ. They all have the same fucking types of titles. Standing My Ground, How I Fought the Left and Won, or like fucking America's Grace. Like, it's the same sounding titles. Landed the South Dakota governor on the New York Times bestseller list, adding to the consensus that the Donald Trump devotee had a big future in GOP politics. That's actually pretty crazy to me. So her last book got on the New York Times bestseller list. Who's reading these memoirs of politicians? I've never read one, with the exception of Bernie Sanders' book. I guess I'm part of the problem. But that's the only one that I read. And that was after he's running for president, right? It was kind of him reflecting on the 2016 election after the DNC rigged it against him. So I was curious if you had any details, but you don't read the books that these dipshits are writing to get their names out there because they want to run for president. Those are all boring. But apparently hers isn't, because she talks about killing a dog. So there's a couple of media segments, and she called off her book tour because every segment that she's done has gone so horribly. Every segment has been a disaster, and she's just like, fuck it. I'm done talking about the fucking book, okay? Everybody's pissed off. You woke libs and conservatives are mad that I killed my dog. Fuck it. We're just not going to promote the book anymore because it's just doing more damage, right? So this is courtesy of MWIII. She called off the disastrous book tour. You've got even Greg Gutfeld of Fox News poking fun at her. When you have Fox News saying you're a bad person, you know you've gone too far, right? I saw a segment of Judge Jeanine Pirro saying that Kristi Noem united the right and the left because we're all against dog killing. I mean, she has managed to accomplish something that no other Republicans have been able to do. She actually did bring people together in their universal condemnation of her. Before we watch any of the Greg Gutfeld interview, though, I do want to show you this interview from Stuart Varney, because Stuart Varney, as smarmy and irritating as he is, he actually did a really good job at pressing her on the issue of the dog killing, and he doesn't let up. And she gets fucking pissed because he just doesn't stop asking her about the dog killing. And really, this is the most relatable that I think I've ever seen Stuart Varney, because he's asking the questions that we all have. Why'd you kill your fucking dog? And why do you keep doubling down and acting like there's no problem? So let's watch it. They're going to kind of deviate around the 3.5 minute mark, but towards the end, guess what he brings up again? He brings up the dog killing again, but let's watch it.
Of South Dakota is Kristi Noem, and she joins me here in New York City. Governor, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank
to
you
New
for having
York.
me. Appreciate that.
In New York.
I don't know. I'm anxious to get back home.
Sure. Well, let's do this first.
Yes,
okay?
all right. We'll wait till the interview's over.
Look at, real quick, look at the Chiron. Governor Noem describes killing dog and goat in new book. She's happy to be here, but she doesn't know what she's walking into. A surprisingly hard-hitting interview from Stuart Varney, of all people. I mean, what's happening? We've got Piers Morgan doing hard-hitting interviews with Israeli spokesperson, and then we've got Stuart Varney doing a hard-hitting interview with fucking Kristi Noem with the Chiron just damaging her, right? Bringing up the goat, too. Usually they don't mention the goat, but he's mentioning the goat.
Okay, in your new book, it's called No Going Back. You include a story about shooting your dog.
She's like, oh, fuck. Look at her face.
Not to put that in the book. I have to say the decision didn't go down well. To include the story about the dog, it's not gone down well. Many people are questioning your political future.
Well, I don't think you have the facts straight.
Excuse me? He doesn't have the facts straight? What did he just say that's wrong? He says that your own team was against this. People are questioning this. Everyone's questioning your future because now, I mean, you kind of fucked that up, right? Trump might not want to pick you to be VP because this is such a huge issue. I had people comment on my video saying that their Trumpy moms aren't going to vote for Trump if they pick her because that's how outraged they are. But she's like, you don't have the facts straight. Do tell us the facts, Kristi.
This was a vicious, dangerous dog that was a working dog. And I had to make a choice between the safety of my children and an animal that was killing livestock and attacking people.
Okay, stop. She's lying, okay? She's the one in her book who said that the dog was untrained. That's because of her. It was 14 months old, so it was basically a puppy. And the reason why the dog attacked livestock is because this dumbass let the dog jump out of her truck. And I say let because a dog doesn't jump out of the truck unless you allow it to if you don't have it on a leash or put it in the car with you, right? But her dog jumps out, starts killing chickens, and then she's just sitting there watching it. She's like, Cricket, stop. And she uses her shock collar. And then finally she goes to grab Cricket and then Cricket bites her. She's pretending as if this dog was some vicious threat to her children. No, because when she killed Cricket after she got home, in the book, her daughter's like, Mommy, where's Cricket? Does that seem like a threatening dog? Right? You broke your daughter's heart and you're like, no, I had to kill this dog for my fucking kids. But what's the excuse about killing the goat? She has nothing, right? Why'd you kill 3 horses at the same time? That's weird. I get that they were old, according to you, but you killed them all at the same time? That's sus.
So it's included because a lot of politicians run from the truth. They try to hide from tough decisions. It was a very hard decision for me. It was 20 years ago.
Doesn't seem that hard because, again, she was like, I just killed my puppy. Where's that goat? Like, she did not make it seem difficult at all.
No, it was an adult working dog. It was an
14 months.
Adult working dog that was attacking livestock.
14 months old.
And killing livestock.
The dog was 14 months old.
It was a 1.5 years old, the dog was, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think it was good politics to include that story?
That has been a story that's been out there for years, Stuart. My political opponents.
We haven't heard about it. Like, you don't have to share all of that, right? You're going to tell me about the nasty shit you took at a Taco Bell? I mean, some things are better left unsaid. But she's like, you know what? Americans are going to really relate to this story. We've all killed our dogs at some point, and they're going to think, man, she's really tough. She killed a dog. We need somebody in power who makes the tough decisions. That's honestly what I think she probably was thinking when she chose to include this story. She doesn't realize that people view her as a psychopath.
Have used it for years, so I want people to know the truth on it.
Do you still think you
what
could
this
be
book is about?
Could you be the vice president of Donald Trump?
I tell you, the only person who decides that is Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the only person who will decide who his vice president is.
And have you
and I trust him to pick the person.
Since the dog story
yes,
recently?
Yes, I talk to Donald Trump often.
I can imagine Trump is like, yeah, what she did, that dog was very unfair. I'm not a dog person, but many people are saying very, very mean, too much. And the goat too. Like, I can imagine Trump saying something like that. I want to know what Trump. I wish I was a fly on the wall for that conversation.
Absolutely. And I will tell you one thing, is that he needs somebody who will help him win. And I have told him that I have supported him from the very beginning. When he was...
I don't think you're going to help him win if you're a dog killer.
in the White House, I was on offense every day in South Dakota. I was fighting for my people. He was helping me.
You're
get
always on
solutions to
offense,
them,
apparently.
And I need to get him back in the White House so I can continue to do my job and continue to protect freedom and liberty in South Dakota. So he knows that I just want him to win and that I'll do whatever I can to help.
If you were writing the book today, would you include the dog story?
You know, this is a wonderful book. Did you read the book?
Not yet.
Oh, you should. The first chapter.
Just dodges that question. Would you include the story today? It's a great book. Have you read? No, nobody wants to read your dumbass book, lady.
The question stands, if you were writing it today,
I'm
would
proud
you
of this
include
book.
the dog story?
I'm proud of this book. If you read the
So you
first
would?
chapter, it's all about when this rioting started. When you go turn on the news today, all you see what's happening on these college campuses
She's
and
trying
what's
to change
going
the
on.
subject to college campuses. She is the worst politician I've ever seen. The worst. She's so bad. Like, deflection is an art. You can't make it obvious that you're doing it if that's what you're trying to do. He's just like, hey, would you include the story today? Did you see these fucking anti-Semitic college protesters? They're insane. Like, oh my God.
With supporting Hamas and the pro-terrorist organizations. The first chapter in this book covers the riots that happened at the RNC at the White House and how that started with Antifa and the fact that this president that's in the White House, Joe Biden, will not shut this down and that they're chanting hatred towards the Jewish people and exterminating them. That's what people should be talking about, Stuart.
Yeah, don't talk about my dog killing, okay? Talk about the college students who are anti-Semitic. Lady, you are genuinely unhinged and nobody's buying your bullshit, including this Fox News host. Not even working on him.
So I know that a lot of people are using attacks and trying to take me down because they're scared of me. Listen, I've run 12 campaigns.
Rightfully so. You killed your dog. Are we not right to be scared of her? I'd be afraid of her. She killed her dog and then her goat, and she killed more animals and wants to kill Joe Biden's dog too. Yeah, we're fucking afraid of you. You're a psychopath.
And all I've done is won. I win everything that I do.
Support you on shooting the dog.
I'm honest. Well, I've heard a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people that say, "Listen, this was 20 years ago. 50 states
with emails.
50 states have a law in the books."
You're going to be on, or we've been consumed with emails saying, "I won't vote for this person. I won't vote for Trump if he puts her in the vice presidential slot."
Well, I'll tell you, Stuart. I'm sorry you're not hearing from real Americans that live on farms and ranches. Because at every
Stop. He's saying we're getting so many emails from people, conservatives, by the way. This is not a liberal show. This is Fox News. We're talking about Stuart Varney, Fox Business, and he's saying you're being inundated with people emailing us, telling us they're not going to vote for Trump if he picks you as VP. And she's like, oh, well, you just haven't talked to real Americans who live on a farm. Okay, living on a farm doesn't mean you just kill your animals willy-nilly. Like, people who have farm dogs don't just shoot them and then they shoot their goat because they don't like it. That's not how that works. You're lying to us. You're hoping that we're ignorant enough to buy your bullshit story, but nobody's buying it.
Every state has a law in the books that allows for animals that are killing livestock and attacking people to be handled this way. Okay. And so I made a decision as a mom and I'm a grandma that the safety of my children and the safety of people was what I needed to decide on.
She's pretending like this is a zero-sum game. It's either the dog or my children, and I choose my children. But that's not how you describe it in the book. You wanted to kill the dog. You were irritated by the dog. You said you hated the dog. It was untrainable. You could just give the dog away. You wanted to kill it. Just admit it. You wanted to kill it. You're a psychopath. You have a bloodlust. You already told the truth about everything else. Just go that extra step and say, yeah, you know, I like torturing animals in my free time.
Basis protecting them from a very dangerous animal.
Okay, I'll move on to something much more positive. We've seen you in commercials for South Dakota.
Yes.
They're successful.
Okay, we're gonna fast forward because this is a little bit of a tangent, but then he gets back to the dog thing towards the end.
And I spoke. Yes, I do speak to him.
May I ask what he said to you about trying to be Trump's vice president?
No, it's up to Donald Trump. He's the only person who will decide this. He's the only person who will decide. And I spoke. Yes, I do speak to him.
May I ask what he said to you about being vice president?
No, I never tell anybody my personal conversations with
Did the dog story
President
come up in your
Trump.
conversation
I
with
talk
Trump?
to President Trump all the time.
About the dog?
About a lot of things. And right now, I tell you what, he is being persecuted in a political hunt.
Trying to change the subject again.
witch hunt in this court case. So I'm proud of him about how tough he is and how well he is doing.
Did you bring up
Yes,
the
enough, Stuart.
Did you
This
bring up
interview is ridiculous what you are doing right now. So you need to stop. It is.
Okay.
It is.
We'll
Let's
stop.
talk about some real topics that Americans care about.
I'm afraid we're out of time.
Oh, well, of course we are.
I do thank you for being with us. I know I pressed hard, but that's what people are talking about to this day.
Yeah.
Governor Noem, thanks for joining us today, show.
Damn. This interview is ridiculous, she said. That's funny. That's honestly funny. You should be talking about real things that people care about. Actually, they want to hear about the dog killing. That's what they're emailing us about. They want to know why you killed your fucking dog.
I'm reloading.
Okay. Let's watch Greg Gutfeld, because when you have conservatives and liberals and leftists all in lockstep against you, that's how you know you fucked up. And I think she genuinely hurt her political career. I think that she jeopardized her chances of becoming Trump's VP. And if he chooses to pick her despite this, and I think this is all speculation, I think that she was probably his #1 pick. But if he chooses to pick her, I think it actually is going to hurt his chances, because people are fucking pissed.
This weekend I did something I rarely do. I read a guest book for a segment we had planned. It's called No Going Back by Kristi Noem. Who knew the title was referring to this show? Because today she canceled on us. Yeah. The one time I actually read the book, and the author, sorry, I mean the person whose name is on the book, cancels, blames the weather. I don't believe it.
Wait.
I just think it's a little...
She actually blamed the weather? No. She's blaming the weather. Oh my God. She's just tired of talking about the dog killing. Shouldn't have brought it up, psycho.
Late to keep her on a short leash. I'd hope she'd reconsider, but I'm not going to sit up and beg. At any rate, every dog has its day. It's just not May 7th, 2024, and I'm not going to let them waste my time, so we're moving forward with the interview. Standing in for Kristi Noem is somebody she wished she had listened to before she ever wrote the stupid book, Dana Perino. So, Dana, a.k.a. Governor Noem, did you write the book yourself?
You know, that's a great question for someone who wrote the book. And I don't think I will dignify your question with a response. There are so many other important issues in the world, like animal cruelty.
Okay, they're actually roasting her right now. That's actually the way that she's been responding. If you watch more interviews, she'll take the question, deflect, because she doesn't want to talk about this.
Do you regret including the dog story? Because it's been reported you were told not to include it.
You know, what I regret is that I was in Germany in the 80s doing movies. I regret that. I didn't include that in the book, and now I regret not including that in the book. I also regret not canceling on you on Saturday, so I didn't waste your time reading a book that I was not going to come on to do the interview about.
Amen.
I mean, they're not very funny, and the cackling was kind of annoying, but I do give him credit for roasting her. I don't think there's ever been another book that has so quickly destroyed a politician's career than this book. There really is no going back. So there's 2 more interviews from Kristi Noem. I haven't watched either of these. They're both from Fox News. Let's see. So this one, I don't know if what this is about, but it's I told the truth. So I wonder if this is about the dog as well. I'm assuming it will be, because that's kind of all people are going to think about now when they see her face.
South Dakota governor and author of No Going Back.
See, here's the thing. Jesse Waters, I have my suspicion that he might have killed a couple of dogs. So he might go easy on her, but we'll see. Because, by the way, this is the guy who let the air out of the tires of his coworker to get her to date him so he could give her a ride home. And that's his wife now. So this dude is a bit of a sociopath himself. You know, he reminds me of Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm worried that he might not press her as hard because he agrees with the dog killing. But let's listen.
Now, what happens if you are debating Kamala Harris and she says, well, wait a second, you shot your dog and you wrote a book about it, bragging about it. How can you be vice president?
You know,
she is not fucking happy about that question. Damn, I was not expecting Jesse Waters to just come out swinging like that.
that story was a choice as a mom. The safety of my children versus a dangerous dog that was killing livestock and attacking.
She's saying the same thing again, like an NPC. Oh, no, I had to protect my children. Again, lady, you didn't. Your kids were absolutely upset that you killed their fucking dog.
And people. So this book that I've written is full of stories of my past, hard decisions, and I told the truth. And I think that's very different than a lot of politicians that we have today. A lot of politicians,
you know, a lot of politicians, they would lie if they killed the dog. I at least admitted it. Okay.
Telling that story, do you feel like, oh, maybe I should have said it? Do you understand why people don't like that story?
well, everybody's known that story for years. That's what most people don't realize is that in South Dakota, they've used that story to attack me in my political campaigns for years. I wanted people to know the truth. This dog was vicious, it was dangerous, it was killing livestock for the joy of it and attacking people. And I had a choice between keeping my family safe. I had little kids at the time, a very public business of inviting people out to come out and enjoy our hunting lodge and our business. And I don't pass my responsibilities off to anybody.
She basically said the same exact thing, almost verbatim, that she said on Stuart Varney's program. Same exact thing. This dog was vicious. It was attacking livestock. Yeah, it was attacking livestock because it jumped out of your truck and you didn't put a leash on him.
Else. So that story's in the book because I want people to know that I'm honest and that when I have difficult jobs, that I take responsibility myself.
All right, so you're standing by the dog story.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's the facts.
Okay.
That's the facts, and I understand that they're attacking me for it, Jesse.
Yeah, they are. So they're also attacking
we are rightfully
you.
so,
I guess
actually.
You said you met Kim Jong-un. Did you meet him?
I've been with the DMZ. I've been to North Korea. You know, people, I don't talk
She
about
just
my
can't answer a
conversations
fucking
with world
question.
leaders. And so when I looked at the book and I saw that excerpt, I decided to make the change to the content of the book, and that's been done.
So you didn't have a conversation with Kim when you were at the DMZ?
When I looked at the book, I saw that you really didn't write anything. It was all ghostwritten. Wow. Lazy. Okay, let's move on to the next interview. This is another Fox Business interview.
Governor, welcome back to the show. A quick comment on what Mr. Trump is saying. It's a disgrace. It's election.
Days. So he said stories of painful decisions.
Oh, okay, so she asked about the dog.
So the president's right. The country is a mess, and this judge is trying to keep him in a courtroom to keep him from saving America.
Yes, indeed. In terms of the book, let's clear the air. Some of the lefty media is going after you. You put your dog Cricket down.
Pause right there. Some of the lefty media has gone after you. Motherfucker, we just watched like 3 or 4 Fox News segments of your own hosts criticizing her. It's not just the left. Found the dog killer defender, fellow dog killer here interviewing Kristi Noem.
For a variety of reasons. What do you say?
Well, you know, this is a book that's filled with stories of painful decisions, hard decisions, and my last life experience and what I think has changed about politics and how President Trump broke politics. What I'd say about this situation was it was about 20 years ago I had to make a choice. As a mom and as a grandma, I had to make a decision between protecting my children and a dog that was killing livestock and attacking people. And
she has this rehearsed by this point. She's saying the same fucking thing every time. If you put all 3 of these clips together, she's basically saying the same fucking thing.
And I had to make a choice between the safety of my children versus a dangerous dog that was killing livestock and attacking people. And this is the reason it's in the book. My political opponents have tried to use it against me in the past. I wanted people to know the truth. And I want them to know that I'm not like other politicians. I don't try to hide the truth, and I don't try to run from hard decisions. I take them head on, and that's what President Trump does, and I think that's why the liberals are giving me the same treatment that they give him.
Oh, so would you say that President Trump supports killing dogs? See, this is why he's not going to want to pick her. He'd be stupid to pick her because he's now attached to the dog killing. He's implicitly endorsing the dog killing. And I love how all of a sudden she's pretending like it's just liberals attacking you. Okay, Judge Jeanine Pirro is a liberal. Stuart Varney is a liberal. Jesse Waters is a liberal. Come on. I mean, if that's what you want to push, this narrative that only liberals are against dog killing, that's going to be great for liberals and the left as well. if you think that conservatives just view dog killing as normal. I don't think many conservatives are going to be okay with that, but please keep talking because you're just making it so much more worse for yourself.
Much like it.
You know, my saintly wife, as I always call her, who grew up part of the time on a ranch, actually.
He's going to talk about how his wife killed a dog, isn't he? Oh, fuck, I'm getting really bad vibes.
As well as Montana, where we were married, said, unfortunately, if you have a dog that's not trained and is going out and killing chickens, a working dog is a very bad thing. Now, I would dare say most people in the Beltway media have never been on a ranch and don't understand the working dog hypothesis. But why did you decide to put it in the book? You want to make it as a...
Okay, first of all, you don't have to kill the dog, okay? You don't have to kill the dog. If the dog doesn't want to work, let the dog retire. Give the dog to somebody else, okay? None of us want to work, so I empathize with the dog there, okay? But it's clear he supports dog killing. But he's not saying this, but this is the subtext. He's like, listen, lady, I agree with you, okay? I killed 2 dogs yesterday. Why the fuck would you admit that, though? Even this empathizer with dog killers, like, we don't talk about this, okay? We have little blood slides of, you know, the dogs and the animals that we've tortured and killed in our basement, and we keep that to ourselves. We enjoy it occasionally. We don't talk about that shit, though. Okay, you don't bring that up in public and in a fucking book. What are you doing?
And I wanted people to know the truth. I want them to know that, yeah, I've had to make some tough choices in the past, but I want them to know the truth, and I want them to know that I don't pass my responsibilities on to anybody else. I make hard decisions, and I'm not going to ask somebody else to do my job for me.
Well, we are. Like, you would want to ask somebody else to kill the dog for you. Honey, will you kill the dog for me that needs to be killed? No, you want to do it. You'd be pissed if you did it because you're the one who wants to do it. You have a bloodlust. Again, she also killed her goat. Long story short, Christy Nome is a dog killer, and she's mad that people are mad that she's a dog killer.
This is not how I die.
Up yours. Up yours. Up
Not
yours.
Bunch of bitches.
Moralism.
I dreamed I saw my maternal grandmother. She was stroking herself absent-mindedly. I let her have her way. Her genital region was exposed. I let her have her way.
Target dismissed.
It just feels strange.
Not that good. Not that good. 50-plus-year-old people trying to be progressive around their first non-binary person.
So this is my friend Casey I was trying to
I can't even...
They like something to drink?
Dad, come on, man.
Maybe them is hungry.
All right, bro.
That's funny.
Okay, I thought you said you were laughing at everything. I'm definitely cracking smiles over here.
I've gone into comedy analyzer mode where I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I understand the premise of what they're going for.
Right.
And like the execution wasn't for me, but obviously like.
Do you know something I've noticed that reminded me of over the years though? Is that recently, I think my whole life I've just casually used like they to occasionally refer to someone. But now because
of them goddamn non-binaries say
because those goddamn non-binaries are spreading like a wildfire.
Yeah.
The woke
like I'll have people now who'll ask, they'll double check and they'll be like, oh, do they go by they them? And I'm like, oh no, I was just like using the word they.
When I was at
so it's a little confusing sometimes.
When I was at Patreon, I had my manager ask me if I was using they on purpose or if that's just how I talked. And it's just how I talked. But it aged well, I guess.
Yeah.
Worked out.
Y'all are hipsters, bro. You're like I was already destroying pronouns before.
Well, I feel like
before non-binary people were invented.
No, it's like it's just like you have
he's
like,
over there.
Like I didn't know a lot of trans people when I was in school, but the second I got out into like the workplace, I had trans coworkers and I had to just get with the program, you know? And it like wasn't a problem. It's like it's so funny now that it's become such a big cultural issue because there was no like trans people were just existing,
right,
and like bothering nobody. But
it's like less than 1% of the population. It's like how could they do any damage?
Shout out.
This chatter is correct. Y'all is non-binary. The South gone woke.
Oh, dude, I love y'all. That also has saved my ass.
True.
I always have used you guys because I'm a misogynist, and I just automatically say everyone is he, him pronouns.
You know,
okay, that's an interesting way to do it.
Before DEI was like a slur or whatever, before you couldn't say that.
What is that?
Like diversity, equity, and inclusion. We would
disgusting.
That's a slur.
Like
conservatives use it as
Patreon, and it's kind of ironically a slur, but like at Patreon in the early days, we would have like little workshops about like removing gendered language, and I was like, oh, I just didn't see the application of it, but I'm like, oh, you know what? It's cool that like little seed was planted in my head, and I did laugh, not at the TikTok, but I'll put 50 down.
You didn't laugh at the TikTok. It doesn't count.
We have to find funny TikToks. They're in there. They're in here.
I'm sure this is in Turkey, so it'll be automatically funny, I think.
It's like very like XD random.
Damn, you're comstering the community right now.
Yeah, I like to solve the puzzle.
All right, go ahead. That's it, yeah.
That's funny. Like that's a good Jay-Z impression. I kind of knew where it was going because he was wearing the hat down. It's a classic move with the Jay-Z impersonator.
That was pretty good. The more I think about it, the more I'm getting a little giggly. Can you play it again?
No. Well, only one off. Only one.
Got a lot of dislikes.
What
That's
I
a
didn't hear
classic.
the first one.
Said, do you serve crackers?
Oh,
as in, like,
that's awesome. That's funny.
Wait, do y'all serve crackers?
I got banned for that.
What made you wear glasses? My vision. What the you think made me wear glasses? Said what made you wear glasses? Obviously my eyes, dickhead. Yo, really be dumb as is your brain located?
I need more content like this to remind me of what
$100.
Okay.
Experience is like on the other side of the keyboard.
I love this because like I do think about my chat a lot, and I know there's so many instances where I yell at them and they just didn't deserve it at all.
100%.
Like where they were just chilling.
Or I will get mad and I'll just completely misread the tone on something, and I feel bad about it in retrospect.
Okay, here it is. It's on Jarvis Ted. I put one in there.
All right. Are you going Roman numerals?
No. I'm just gonna jot it.
Well, you put an I down, so it definitely looks like you're going Roman numerals.
Okay, I don't know why I did that. I don't know. I don't know why I did that, but
wait, did those laughs count?
I'll count it, man. I'm trying to put some money down.
Yeah, and it don't look like this community is gonna make y'all laugh at all because this shit is not funny. Literally, one time you read my comment, I had a typo. My comment made no sense. Lamau. Yeah, I'm sorry for all the
it's probably
chatters.
because you're stupid. I'm making it happen to him again.
You know what's funny? I always think about you, and this is I can talk to your chat about this. I don't really stream, but sometimes I'll stream when I'm recording a video or something, and I've gotten like passive aggressive with people, like not raising my voice, but just like being annoyed. And I had someone write a like parasocial essay on my subreddit called like about his personality, and they were talking about how I was being aggressive and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, Hassan could really just say, "I your mother" to one of his chatters, and everybody's just like, you know, like cool beans. That's normal.
Yeah.
To be fair,
you conditioned them well.
Yeah, he's conditioned them.
I do also have a lot of haters for that reason, though, because
fair.
Really?
Oh, yeah, you couldn't tell? I have entire online communities that are like rapidly dedicated to hating everything I do.
Yeah.
And portraying it in the worst possible light they can.
Well, I think you're a sweet boy, son.
That's the reason. Oh, Ted, you wanna do the podcast after this, by the way, or do you have to dip?
What you got going on after this, Ted?
I got nothing going on.
Okay, you can be a part of it if you want.
Okay.
All right. He f***s all of our moms every day. It's because he f***ed our moms.
Yeah, I feel like somebody's got to do like, I mean, this probably already exists, but just like a word mash of like, I your mom on the top of the hour ad break, and then just every Hassan meme. Like, you got to hit them all, like a triple word score.
Someone actually brought up a good point. They said, don't invite him. He's not going to invite you to his podcast, Madge.
I've said, okay, let me just point out, every time that I have seen Hassan in the last perhaps 6 months, he has brought up the fact that he has not been invited back on the podcast. Chuckle Sandwich is a remote podcast primarily. We only do...
As in, I could do it. If I could do it from anywhere around the world.
Understand, the fact that we haven't had you on is an indication I want you on the in-person Chuckle Week because I value you.
Just not enough to have me on the Chuckle Week last time.
Dude,
yeah, you had me on the Chuckle Week.
well, it was either, it was one of those things where it was either you or Cutie Cinderella, and we were like, let's make space for women.
No,
let's make space for women. How about that?
That's insult to injury.
Finally, some space.
Okay, let's continue. Get the rat! What are you doing?
No, what?
Worthless cat.
What is the game plan with that broom? Like, why are they trying to? I don't. What are you? You're not gonna smash.
That's
the rat
a worthless ass cat, bro. That's the whole point of cats, that they like kill rats and.
It was very convincing too. It looked almost human.
If someone's head off, no human contact. And if you interact, your life is on contract.
Okay, I'm beginning to realize that my sense of humor and my community's sense of humor is much worse than everyone else's because I'm trying not to laugh at this, and you guys are not even in it at all. Like that's good. I would have laughed at that normally, but I'm trying hard not to.
How did y'all meet? MWIII match? That's what they all say.
Sneaky.
If you're not white, what are you?
Pakistan, get out of here. Stand up. Stand up for the people. Stand up. Stand up.
Daywalker. Wow. 9/11 was comfy for you. She was probably with the white people like, get him! That's crazy, you're Pakistani. What's your name? Is it Faiza? Pakistani is... Hey man, respect, you know what I mean? Because you clearly wanted a white girl, but you didn't want to disappoint your parents. So you just did the next best thing, you know what I mean? Respect, y'all. Respect.
Okay, that's two. Put it in. Damn, y'all are not laughing at all. Holy. Okay, you're worse than me. Maybe it's my problem.
I'll find some new it off.
I can't. So I think it's really just like, but my sense of humor is weird. I'm a different version of
twisted
online.
sense of humor.
Yeah, but kind of like Family Guy. Like that would make me laugh.
Family Guy or American Dad.
Yeah. That doesn't count. I'm laughing at you. I'm not laughing at the TikTok.
Fine, but I'm pissed.
Okay.
Yo, I find some new about my city every mother day, bro. Who is delivering in this shit right here? I really hope that's not real, bro. Cause let me find out a horse is delivering my pizza, bro. I'm snapping.
See, there's a world in which I could see that being a thing.
Yeah, Amish people.
Yeah, Amish people.
Holy shit, that's impressive.
Wait, what did that say? Doner kebab, like in a hot air balloon.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Hassan. I read that first two words as de boner.
No, he said this donut is flying.
You see the guy that, the YouTuber that was flying some crash and he broke his back?
Not the guy who jumped out of the.
No, he was flying a little Leonardo da Vinci contraption.
Someone said donair, like an airline. Yeah. That's funny. I like that. Good job, Chatter.
Is that how you appreciate? You're a comedy appreciator, like a wine connoisseur.
But the thing is, like, I like sit down and try to write jokes. So I'm always like intellectualizing what makes something funny. Yeah. And it's a bad thing about me, and a bad thing about my brain. But don't worry, I can laugh.
You literally said you laugh at everything. You haven't laughed at anything yet.
I laugh at people a lot.
You laugh like this.
Yeah.
Quite intellectual.
Yes.
Delectable.
Funny joke.
I see.
We're not even that far in.
I see how to derive humor from this.
Yes.
Maybe a ha is in order.
Oh, yes.
Very nice. I was watching a TikToker talk about I don't know why my For You page always feeds me like black TikTokers talking about white people shit and like how insane it is. Like one example is like there's a black dude and a white dude and they're like, I'm making my black friend do white people shit, and then I'm making my white friend do black people shit. And then the white guy makes him go to a haunted house and is like, I mean, I
Is that
get
a white person thing?
100%. And I'm white as well, but as a Turkish person, I don't with that at all. I do not ghosts.
Wait, since when?
Since forever.
Really?
I will never understand. I will never understand the all of the like thrill-seeking behavior that people engage in, Americans specifically engage in, where I'm like, I don't get it. Why
would you do that?
Well, it's because we're American. We can never die.
Like skydiving. I don't know about it.
I don't get it either. So that was the other thing I was gonna say. It was a black dude like talking about how like some dudes do this thing called like kite surfing, where they will like strap themselves to like a kite and fly. And then there was this one dude who took flight and was basically like you couldn't see the people down there. Like he had a GoPro strapped to his chest, and you literally could not see the people on the ground. Like one bad wind situation, or you like let go of your grip and you're dead. Like you're 100% dead.
Someone in the chat, let me know. In the Power Rangers movie, the one that was released in theaters, the first one, it starts with them jumping out of a plane. Do they kite surf or do they just skydive?
Maybe they wing glide.
Are you talking about paragliding?
I can't remember what they did. Skyboarded, skydiving.
You know those wingsuits where you like open up, it's like flying squirrel.
Skydive with a snowboard. But Tommy had a board. Tommy did have a board. Okay.
Whoa.
But Tommy, yes, thank you. Wow. Thanks, chat. I saw Travis Pastrana, who like doesn't, I think he does stuff on a bike, on a motorbike. He jumped out of a plane without a parachute. But then he was like doing it with people who had a parachute, so then they had to like grab onto him.
I think I've seen this video.
That's just like unacceptable behavior.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Unreasonable.
NS from the YouTube channel. Do you guys know who NS is? He has a YouTube channel. He's like does all the like fancy real estate stuff.
Oh, okay.
Also, my neighbor.
No relation to Enes Kanter, the former NBA player.
No, that guy. I hate that guy. No, NS is he's a real estate channel guy, and he is actually an Olympic level world competitor in windsurfing. Wow. This is actually true. Yeah. And also, my former neighbor, and the reason why I was able to even get housing in Los Angeles without credit score.
Whoa.
Fun facts about NS. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Shingun Goat.
That's a cool ass baby.
Yeah, it's a sweet
cool baby.
I wish babies were that cool, but they're not. They're no kind.
It's gonna go into the barrel, isn't it? Oh my god.
Bro, he almost caught on fire.
Yeah, what chemicals?
So the reason why the person who submitted this could tell it was funny was because of the amount of laughing,
I know, that
emojis.
does ruin it for me. Okay, wait, I feel good about this one. I might laugh.
When your reflex is kicking at the wrong time?
Yeah! That probably wasn't believable.
That came out of nowhere.
That probably wasn't believable, but that was satisfying. That was satisfying to me.
Oh, I thought you really did laugh.
I did.
Then why did you say that probably wasn't believable? Oh,
because people probably didn't think that was for real.
I see.
But I liked it.
No, I believed it.
I don't even know what just happened. What?
Poetry in motion.
You act like you're hard to make laugh, but all chat needs to do is post 9/11 memes and dudes farting on dogs in your cook. That's true. No, dudes farting on dogs is my weakness, like forever.
Really?
Yeah, I always laugh at dudes. It's just so funny. Have you ever seen a dude fart on a dog?
Is it the fact that they farted on the dog, or is it the dog's reaction? Because if it's like,
it's the lack of reaction from the dog that I think makes it so
the
funny.
dog doesn't give a shit.
The dog doesn't even understand, but their owners are in like a state of panic. Because some random dude just came up and farted on your dog.
Oh, it's not an owner farting on. It's like dog.
well, I want to see some of these.
I'll show you guys
aerial assault.
I want to see some of these.
I'll show you guys after.
When my girl, I'm sleeping on the couch to get the reaction.
I'm gonna sleep on the couch tonight. Just kind of feeling like sleeping by myself. I don't know, just kind of feeling like sleeping by myself.
What I do? Are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad at you.
I've seen this. I don't know if there's like a. Oh.
Love me. You have to. It's terrible.
That's just sad, man.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's sad.
Yeah.
10 kids in 10 years, the scariest thing.
10 kids in 10 years.
are so wild.
Sometimes they randomly have me in those memes. I don't know why.
Scariest thing you can think of. Steven, women.
Judy and Will are here. We're going to shoot a podcast after this. If we raise a total of $150, I'm going to lose my mind.
I know, we gotta laugh.
We have to laugh.
What are we
more.
doing?
10 kids in 10 years. What's the scariest thing you can think of?
Is it gonna repeat?
Steven, women.
Again is funny.
Okay, I just laughed
Again
at
is
that,
funny,
so
yeah.
you can add me to it.
Frag out!
This is usually not. For me, pranks and people getting hurt doesn't usually make me.
Dude,
his face there, he's like, he doesn't know what's going on.
Bro, kids getting hurt is always funny.
Except for Cop Slide is the funniest thing I've ever.
Cop Slide's great too, but no, I love kids getting hurt. It's the funny.
I was in Boston in January, and the Cop Slide is like cordoned off.
Still?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just want to know how it came down so fast, man.
You just got a running start.
Maybe we just ran out of.
Yo! Yo, dumbass baby, dude. Look at that. You think you can... Dude, also, look how much...
I do feel like you're like reverting to like there's a childlike wonder in your eyes. You're like,
Yeah.
dumb baby.
Yeah, I love watching kids get owned. It's so awesome.
It's funny. But this is the meta. It's easier to make you laugh than to make both of us laugh, and your chat knows you better, so it
Yeah.
should be hard targeting you.
They are hard targeting me, and it's working, but also...
It's like Hassan brings his friends to watch him laugh at his chat's memes.
Okay.
Find medical.
Pretty good. Impressive.
Your team is playing in the Champions League final, and I'm in Labour.
Well, that's easy. But then when I go to the football, Labour, I don't deal with politics. All Conservative, Labour and all
No,
them.
as in baby.
Oh.
Baby Labour.
Oh!
Yeah, think about it. Think
My
about
baby,
it.
yeah?
Yeah, we're having a baby. I'm in Labour.
What's the score?
It's a very funny.
Green black? Hell no, fam, I weren't honest, blood. She mad, bro. My teammate won a trophy since I was born. Remember, a Worthington Cup, blood. I can give her another kid, blood. I can't win another trophy, blood.
This was a real drama in the NBA recently. Rudy Gobert went to go witness the birth of his first child, and what's his face? The guy who brought a gun to the locker room, who's
John Morant.
No. They'll know.
Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas, yeah. Gilbert Arenas said that it was bad. He just has bad takes a lot.
Gilbert Arenas?
Yeah, he just said that it was he shouldn't have skipped the game for the birth of his
That's
first
crazy.
Which, by the way, the Timberwolves won, so it didn't even matter. But
maybe if he was there,
it would have double mattered. Double not mattered. I don't know. Okay, I laughed though.
IDF Draymond Green says something too. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta add to the list of our marking.
Are we still?
Who laughed on that?
I had a laugh earlier
I laughed
too.
when he said,
oh.
when he said, "Is it my child?" Because I think that's a very silly follow-up question.
Tragedia es que te pierdas las mejores salchipapas de Villavicencio, aquí en Papaltilo, barrio La Coralina.
I like the Cerveza Cristal ads. Those are really good.
Hey, Ken, how many girls are you going to talk to tonight? At least 1 million!
That's funny.
Have you guys seen the controversy surrounding SoCal Asians versus like Asian people living in other parts of the country?
Oh,
a lot of people are shitting on the SoCal Asians.
What does that mean?
They're saying that like SoCal Asians are like a different breed. Like California Asians are a different breed of where they're all like they got like their own genre of memes and stuff like that, and they like kind of like shit on Asians in other places.
Damn.
Interesting.
Like we don't like ABGs from SoCal. They're elitists is what they're saying.
Thing is,
they're saying SoCal Asians are elitists because they're like, if they live in like predominantly Asian neighborhoods and stuff and they go to school amongst other Asian people, instead of like being the only, one of the 10 Asian kids at school, like if you were in the Midwest and get bullied for being Asian, they have like an entirely different development.
Interesting.
That is interesting. Though I can't say I can weigh in on it as I don't have that lived experience.
Yeah.
I love talking about other people's lived experiences. Yeah, it said, they also said they only like whites and are racist, that's why.
Damn.
Hell no. Come on, wait till the no. Come on.
Ah, that was good.
Okay, I'll give one to myself. Ted finds no humor in our armed forces.
I did think it was funny.
Ted finds no humor in our armed forces being harmed like that.
That was good. Because I'm like, wait, it probably broke her fall, right? So she's probably fine. I don't know what was in
Even
there.
if she was hurt, that's funny still. That's even funnier.
That's such an evil thing to say. I probably I don't know if she got hurt.
No hunting of rat during Ramadan. Do you know that cats are Muslim canonically? Like all cats are.
That's it.
هلا إذا الله راد بين شهر رمضان بدكم تخفوا يعني العالم أكل بقايا أكل ما عاد تاكل على نعيش وناكل العالم عم لحمة جاز ما عاد جاي على بيوتها ما الله يرضى عليكم صاروا نباتيات تاكلوا حشيش برغل بتاكلوه
But I just find them cute.
This wasn't very funny at all.
Oh my God.
That's not a bad boy or a good boy. It's a boy.
Good impulse control.
Keep her away from white women. Don't worry about it. I just made it. Don't worry about it.
I won't.
What happened?
Italian Applebee's, Mexican Applebee's, Chinese Applebee's, under the sea Applebee's, Yeehaw Applebee's, Jim.
Mods, stop typing. Stop uploading new videos on the server. Every time you do, it kicks me off a full screen.
That's kind of crazy. That's Discord's fault.
Yeah, they know. Owned.
Red flag when I see a guy's having a mom, and even worse, having a sister.
That is a big red flag. You know what else is another red flag? This red marker flag shows exactly where live power is on a project.
Some of men's yellow flags, for example, if he plays golf. It's not the worst hobby in the world, but he is married to the game of golf, so he can't marry you.
Yep, we got a live one. Playing the game of golf is a yellow flag, but you know what else is another yellow flag? This yellow marker flag marks exactly where gas line is on a project.
It's like an instruction.
What about orange flags? No one talks about orange flags.
You're right. Nobody does talk about orange flags because they made smart TV cable lines.
It's like a very niche meme.
The number one green flag in a woman is if she is a nurse or in the medical field.
I couldn't agree more. And she's probably also dealing with things that go directly into this sewer line.
Okay. Oh no!
Wait, what's happening here?
That's like me at mass on Sundays.
They're at the Kaaba and doing their prayer.
Right. And like, is that a child? Just like
and the little child is just spinning around.
Yeah, no, this isn't like some ordinary church, though. This is a pretty big deal location in terms of Islam.
Yeah, this is the holiest location in Islam.
Is that
yeah, it's a kid.
They stood up in there, looked like they're as tall as everyone else.
I couldn't tell at first because they looked kind of large. It was very cute.
It's funny as hell. That baby is Satan. Okay, I laughed on that one.
It's really interesting to see that this type of humor is like making the research.
A lot of the people in my community are 30 plus. That's why.
Check your bloody fire.
I've seen this one, so these are ones where it's like, oh, that's silly, but they're not like something like I feel like if we're trying to do a try not to laugh, there has to be a punchline
Well, so
that happens.
unexpected.
No, you can't have any of my Mountain Dew.
Right? So, like when that
this looks
the
like
bag,
Drake.
I wasn't expecting the like fluidity at which the bag went over her shoulder and she slid backward.
Yeah.
And that was unexpected to me, and that made me laugh. But when I can see what the joke's coming, I'm not gonna laugh. You know?
Yeah, honestly, I think I have a community of ultra Zionists that just don't want to save Palestinian children, and that's why they've been just like pumping this shit.
We should have done, or no, we still can do your chat versus just like a generic YouTube try not to laugh, and see which is funnier.
It will be the YouTube try not to laugh. 100%.
No, you can't have any of my Mountain Dew, stinky. Huh? What?
Yeah. Okay. There are a lot of things I didn't like about that.
Care to explain?
I mean, it's like it was
Tried
like
and true.
it was
Tried
like
and true.
it was like telegraphed. And it like went kind of over the top, but like not in the fun. I don't know. It's like I don't know. Just not for me.
I think you know what it needed to be. It needed to happen.
It tried too hard.
It needed to happen a couple seconds quicker in each beat. What do you think of that, Jarvis? If it happened faster.
I think it would have been funnier, to be completely honest, if it really happened and that the cat like
you wanted
just
him to
like
actually
went over to the no like if he turned around and the cat really wasn't there and then he turned around and then the cat was just next to the Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
But it was just so.
If they want to do that joke, they need to train that cat to do that.
It was sketch comedy, is what it was.
Yeah.
And then I have a different brain for sketch comedy. No analysis, just watching, please. Okay, chatter, just for you.
This is certified toilet paper. We not making it out the hood. I agree.
You want to be a radio DJ, huh? All right, cool. Time for you to step up to the mic and tell Lucky Caller 9 they just scored tickets to see Dua Lipa. I'll have a script and a timer waiting for you in 3 seconds. You ready? Yeah? All right, good luck. Pound it.
Kill confirmed.
Welcome back to Hits 95.7. Who am I talking to?
This is Shannon.
Hey there, Shannon. We just received word that your son's preschool has just been carpet bombed. How we feeling?
All right.
Okay, I laughed at that. It's because the delivery of it. Big carpet bomb.
No one wants me to explain comedy, so I won't. But I could tell you why I didn't.
Carpet
No, we're moving on. No more Jarvis.
We're moving on.
You don't seem to
It's not even funny. This is just cool. Bears are so dope.
Clavicle out. It's the summer of clavicle. Is my whole building shaking? Clavicle out. It's the summer of clavicle. Is my whole building shaking?
What is that? Is that Mount Vesuvius or whatever?
Breaking news, Drake is leaving America. He's selling off all of his properties. Wait, what? By the way, these cannot be the banger TikToks. This has been around since Like this is all from today.
How much is this? 149. I've got 53 cute basket. Hey, that's not good, my brother.
Okay.
Actual April.
Okay, you're right. It's not even today. We had a month. These were cooking. We're skipping some of these. We're getting to more relevant new TikToks. Uh-oh. There's like 5 of them. All right, let's see. Okay.
That's a tubber.
What's your fire?
Yes.
Yeah, I laughed at that.
I've seen that one.
Dude,
Shout out Weird Dogs.
Ted beating you.
Dude,
Ted has 4 laughs. Jarvis, you have 3. I have...
Dude, he started orbiting. He started orbiting around the Earth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 laughs. Probably easier to just write it out now.
Dude, that's awesome. Can we watch that again?
Watch it.
Yeah, we can watch it again.
Dusted him.
Dude, that's awesome.
I don't drink this much. I drink like 4 or 5 cans a day, sometimes 6.
4 or 5 cans a day, sometimes 6?
Yeah.
Isn't there something that gives you cancer in those though?
I don't care. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time, brother.
What made me to stop losing weight was that I found a video of myself on my dorm, like in my dorm room, and there was a desk full of Coke cans. Not Diet Coke cans, just regular Coke cans. And I was like, I have to stop.
Dude, that's so much liquid. He hasn't even gotten up to pee. My whole thing is that like I just don't drink soda otherwise, you know? There's some real special about, you know, having a full sugar Pepsi or Coke with some ice.
I don't like. I genuinely prefer the taste of Diet. Aspartame is so.
I want to train my brain to be like that, but I don't like it as much, and so then I get addicted to the sugar stuff. So I just have to go cold turkey. I'm like back cold turkey off the off the juice. I even picked up a Diet Coke when we came in, and I said, "No, I'll drink the water."
Yeah, no, you had a moment of strength.
Yeah, I grew up in a diabetic household.
I was
so
impressed by that too. I internally was like, nice.
I grew up in a diabetic household, so I grew up with like only diet sodas.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, no,
No, you have you have the Coke that I would drink when I was hella addicted, which is the what I call the dad Coke, caffeine free.
Oh, caffeine free? That's for nighttime consumption.
Exactly. People don't get it. People are like, why do you have this? And I'm like, well, I want this beverage. I want this taste, but I don't want to drink caffeine.
Yeah, I used to shit on it, and then I tried it once and I was like, huh, not bad.
It's great. I can't have it because it becomes a gateway
Honestly,
drug.
I think I probably forgot that caffeine existed in sodas for like 7 years until right now.
Well, you have ADHD.
Rude. Why are you bringing that up?
No, I'm just saying because it just like, you know.
No, because it doesn't affect me.
I'm the same way.
No.
It just is different. We both have ADHD.
I was going from the angle that like it was totally unrelated. Like
Yeah, then I'm just like fucking roasting your ass.
Caffeine free is the absolute go for ice cream floats.
George R.R. Martin, you've done it again. Anytime I fight a dragon, that's George. Anytime I fight a 104-pound female with bare feet, I'm like Miyazaki he had all hands on for that meeting.
Normally,
that's funny.
The bald man, but this time, not so much.
What's good, my nigga? The perfect dap doesn't even exist on my planet. I love it here. What's that on your hand? Let me get a sip.
So the problem I have with this is that they use footage from Vegeta and Nappa landing on Earth, and then Piccolo was never in a Saiyan.
Dude, it was the crazy cum sounds he was making that caught me.
We got one. There's one left. Ted's at 5 now.
Also, Piccolo saying the N-word is a like a type of content that has existed for like 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
And I've also developed immunity.
You've developed immunity specifically to Piccolo saying the
I'm
N-word?
making everyone in the chat hate me. I'm so sorry.
Are you happy? I moved it. I moved the fucking thing to the left. Piccolo can say it though. He's black.
Yeah. No, that's canon.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, no, it's not. But it's like community green. He's Namekian, but like he's black. He's Gohan's real father. That's the meme. That's he's the father who stepped up.
Yeah.
The father stepped up.
Flashback to when Isaiah Stewart tried to save a baby crawling on the court, but they wouldn't let him.
This is so funny. Ha 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 ha. I'm gonna laugh because the first time I saw this, I died laughing.
Why are they stopping him?
I think
it's
two things
a
cut
fight.
together.
It's two things cut together. He was like gonna like hit somebody.
That is pretty funny.
It's very funny.
When I was finally served at that counter, I thought it was by far one of the lousiest meals I ever had. And I asked myself the question, is this what I put my life on the line for?
I'll laugh.
Oh no.
It's like the hardest roast.
That's devastating.
I think I missed the beginning.
He said he went and finally got served at the counter in a place where that was previously
If
segregated.
Americans act against Afghan nation, we keep them in target by our operation.
That one has a star on it. They kept it in because it's ass.
Hello, Biden. It's Zelensky. We need 5 million rockets to bomb Donetsk children. Slava Ukraine.
Hey guys, listen. This technology sucks. I came home last night and I found my wife a robot. I'll bet he's not as funny as me. Look out for that drone. I think it's got my name. What is this? Drones with my name on it? Robots with dicks? What is it? Star Wars? I gotta go, guys. I gotta find a robot with a...
I want to die.
I laughed at I laughed at your joke. But just what is this?
Yeah, it was like boomer
Bro,
slam
this
poetry.
used to be funny. The Discord peaks used to be funny. It would actually make me laugh. Right now, when they have to lock in, right, for like a dono driver or whatever, they literally
being embarrassed about your friends. You're like,
no. It's been so
freaking funny normally.
No. Trust me, I've ripped into them a lot.
I feel like I'm not showing up as the laugher. I want to be the laughing guy.
You give us 26 minutes to prepare what you want from us?
That is a very short period.
No, half of these are from the old. Half of the jokes that we looked at were from 2 months ago. Ooh. Fuck you, me.
But maybe the stuff that we're gonna get to is gonna be the good stuff because
is that guy
they
at
locked
Texas
in.
Roadhouse?
They locked in on
And
the
he's
last
doubled
minute.
up on rolls. Oh man, I haven't eaten anything today. I could go for some Texas Roadhouse.
Motherfuckers running a you laugh, you lose with 3 guys who will explain every joke to you. First of all, not me.
I stopped.
Oh man, I can't stop thinking about the Texas
relax.
Roadhouse rolls.
Everyone's either aborted or transgender.
I don't like the fact that guy.
That shit sucked. Y'all suck. Big time.
And I met him, and he wouldn't leave my father's store for 3 weeks. He camped outside. He would throw rocks through my window with notes that said, "Please go out with me." Grandma, you little victim. What?
This is a good one.
That's like
But
true.
I saw it. I almost did like a gold video on these because that became a big trend.
When you're here, you're gold.
Hey.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo, what can I do for you?
Click clackety duck. This is what I want. And I get a 3. Hello, do you know why I'm here?
I laugh.
Because I'm hungry. No, let me get one.
That's 2.
Wait, what is
Let me get. Sorry about
because he's
that.
ugly?
No, hungry.
Oh.
Do you speak Spanish?
Yes, you can appoint us.
Okay, cool. Can I get number 6?
You just asked me if I speak Spanish for no reason.
Basically, but can I get number 6?
Can I please get a 6-piece chicken?
We found what he likes, bro. He likes harassing fast food workers.
No.
That's your shit.
No, her response is what I laughed at.
Oh my God, bro.
Well, keep playing and see if you can squeeze some more out of him.
Yeah, we got 8 now. He's cooking Ted. Ted's like, I would never laugh at a fast food worker being disrespected.
Oh yeah, no, I would never make a video going to a fast food place trying to get fast food things.
Yeah, that's not a thing that Ted would ever do.
Not a thing I would do. No,
like
not
them.
Even in my wheelhouse. I would not ever do that.
There with a Dr. Pepper and a medium Sprite with some ranch and buffalo.
You're fucking with me.
Oreo, McFlurry, extra Oreo. Yeah, with extra Oreo. That'll do it.
That was funny. That was probably the best.
I want to have a swim in my own being on the hottest day that we've ever had in England, then I'm entitled to do so. You didn't stop me. You've got nothing to say now, have you?
I do Oblivion NPC memes like make me laugh a lot. If you want,
I like that one with the lady where she's like, you know what I'm talking about? Where she's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then she tries to reach in and grab his phone. It's like,
okay, I haven't seen that one.
I feel like I'm doing a pretty good impression of it, so chat might know what I'm talking about.
I would recognize it maybe if I saw that one.
Please go to May. All right, I'm skipping it. Well, that's May, dude.
Wow.
We got 2 memes today.
Oh, that's what. Okay.
We got 2 memes.
Has China created brain rot to dominate U.S. citizens?
No, Senator.
Have you ever practiced edging streaks in China?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
So you only did edging streaks in Singapore?
Yes, and I served my military for 2.5 years in Singapore.
Do you have any other brain rot social media we don't know?
No.
So you're the Singaporean Quandale Dingle King of brain rot.
That's correct.
Do you intend to be the new king of Ohio?
I'm skipping that. Romans after conquering Britannia, realizing ain't shit there.
What do we gain from this shit? Like, we're but what? Yo! Bro! What did we gain from this, bro?
Excuse me, sir. Yeah? What song are you listening to?
Oh, snap. Is this one of them little TikTok videos where you ask me what song I'm listening to and then I tell you?
Nah, I'm just a nosy guy who likes walking around with a random microphone and putting you into strangers' faces. I got a cousin like that. Yeah, it's a TikTok video, dog.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Tell me the song you're listening to.
Oh, yeah, Fake Love by Drake.
Fake Love? Mm-hmm. By Drake? Yup. Drizzy Drake. Yo, what's that over there? What's what? Kendrick for life, little stay up. BBO Drizzy!
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, somebody shot me. I'm shot.
All right, we'll be the right away, sir. Would you please mind telling us what happened?
I don't know. I told him I was listening to Drake. I mean Kendrick. Kendrick.
Nah, you good, bro. You good. You'll be all right. Get shot every day. You need help, go ahead and call Drizzy Drake the out. Matter of fact, I got a song that'll make you feel better.
That was actually scary. I'm actually getting sad. Hoscore was supposed to be better than this. If in one of the first of your you laugh you lose uploads on YouTube, a commentator talked about taking an edible before watching so they could have a chill night, and said they got a panic attack from how unfunny chat was during it. I will always think about that. Yeah,
the statistics are pretty likely there's at least a couple people watching this a little bit too high on an edible right now.
Yeah.
Just a little bit over the edge. And I'm going to speak directly to that person right now who's high on that edible. You're never going to sober up. This is going to continue. You will fall further down.
Okay, you broke them.
Let's watch a YouTube one.
Well, we got to do the podcast.
Oh shit.
So we have to, unfortunately, we will come back to these fundraising efforts, trust me, one more time. But for today, we started off the charity at 200,000 or like 190,000, I think, and so far we raised 245,000 total. We're trying to get to 1 million. The final tally is, for those of you who want to know, I laughed 9 times. That's $900. Jarvis laughed 8 times, and Ted 5. Jarvis and Ted are giving $50 a pop. I'm giving $100 a pop. We will continue doing fundraising, obviously. I'm just gonna give more than $900 though, but
yeah, I'm gonna bump mine up as well.
You don't have to do that, Ted. It's all good. You give whatever you want to give. Hold on, let me see.
And Hassan,
just don't show on
how do I find the donate link?
Exclamation mark, donate, exclamation, what do you guys say?
Exclamation point?
Exclamation point. There's nothing funnier to me than like telling counter protesters to go back to Patterson, New Jersey. Bro, you're literally wearing an IDF jersey next to the Israeli flag, barely over 5'2", telling people to go back to somewhere else. It's like, where the are you from, little guy? Little guy. Where are you from, little guy? Where are you from, little man? Oh, here's friend of the show, Walter Maston, with another banger, 32-minute Hogwatch video. Stolen West Bank property being sold in New York.
I'm here to buy real estate.
All right, let's watch this. Stolen West Bank property being sold in New York.
There's a real estate sale selling stolen property which was stolen from the Palestinian people. As Jewish people, we should not steal. This is either a political move or a financial move.
I'm an IDF vet. I was just fighting in Gaza for the IDF.
Bro, you should be in jail.
So what are we shooting today?
How do I explain what this is? There's this gathering where they're gonna sell real estate, like in Palestine, like West Bank territory. I'm reading about it, and it goes against like the Fair Housing Act, all this stuff. So I thought I would be a real estate agent. I can't decide, should I be a real estate agent or a real estate influencer?
I think you got to be a real estate influencer.
Yes. Okay.
So wait, these are a real estate company that is selling. How are they getting this Palestinian land?
Well, I don't know, dude. I mean, we can imagine how that plays out. Actually, I don't think we have to imagine that at all. I think whatever you just thought in your head of how they obtained the land, you did it. Like, that's it. It's exactly what you thought. It's like some type of, I think it's like some type of convention, and they have little booths set up, from what I've seen. And what's up? It's your real estate influencer here, showing you how to flip houses in Palestine. So step one, secure the land. Make sure it's in a place that the entire world is like, please, can you not? Step two, take it anyway. I'm a real estate investor, and so I was, trying to educate my audience on, where they can buy and sell real estate to flip. So
Is those nothing related? Oh my God.
It's like a huge thing. So, I think there's like a lot of controversy on this one because some of it's like there's like disputed territory. I don't know who's.
I'm not going to respond to that.
I know. So, but then there's.
My father was technically a Palestinian, so that makes me a Palestinian.
Oh my God! So if you were to buy it, then it's like it's not an issue.
I wouldn't be able to buy any land because I'm legally a Palestinian.
Oh, so like Palestinian, like how?
My father was a Palestinian, like what it says on his birth certificate.
Okay, so he was there like during like the whole.
Hey, 43, yeah. Okay. My grandfather was in the British Army for Israel.
Okay.
So I should have no legal issue.
Yeah. So you're to pre-1948. Got it.
I legally own my land.
So I've just been told I can't come inside and make any real estate bids because I'm not Jewish. And I
got people walking in the streets around you, so
I don't know about the Fair Housing Act or Civil Rights Act or anything like that. I'm sure this doesn't violate any of that at all. So some people are really upset about this, apparently. I don't get it. I mean, as long as the land is like theirs and not stolen, I don't see why the problem. estate influencer, and so they're selling real estate inside of there. I actually couldn't be, I couldn't get inside. I'm not Jewish. Some of it's like in the West Bank and stuff.
Yes. Well, what's your before you?
Wait, so it's
yeah.
Which side of the divide are you on? You're on
What?
the liberal side or on the conservative side?
I'm on the anti-apartheid side. That's the
So
side.
you're on the anti-Israel side.
The anti. Oh, wait. Why is that anti-Israel?
Well,
I'm anti-apartheid. I don't want the. How is that anti-Israel?
I guess you're claiming that Israel is
wait.
pursuing apartheid policy.
I didn't say. Yeah, I'm
So
saying.
therefore, I guess if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. So if you're saying that Israel
I just don't want people to live in apartheid.
Right. So then you're saying you're anti-Israel because.
So if I'm anti-apartheid, I'm anti-Israel.
Well, if you're saying that Israel is pursuing apartheid policy, is that
I didn't say that. I just said that. They just said that there's people living under apartheid. Yeah. But the way you jumped to anti-Israel, though, I thought that was funny.
Because you're saying that you're talking about Israel, you're talking about apartheid. So obviously you're inferring that Israel is pursuing this apartheid policy.
So wait, so it's not?
I'm asking you a question.
Home first, and then we're gonna talk about free Palestine. Now bring them
What does
home
this have to do
first.
with? I'm here to buy real estate. No, but I'm here to buy real estate. I'm here to buy real estate in the West Bank. I don't know what this is about. I just wanted to buy real estate in the West Bank. They wouldn't let me inside because I'm not Jewish. I couldn't. I was set to buy a whole bunch of real estate. I thought that's how the free market worked. But where's this real estate?
This real estate that's being sold is in the West Bank.
In the West Bank?
Yes.
So you can sell real estate in the West Bank? I don't know anything about real estate, apparently, and I mean, I'm just...
technically it's illegal what they're doing. It's illegal.
Yeah.
It's against international law, it's against local law, it's against state law, it's against fair housing. It's illegal what they're doing.
Wow. So wait, what's happening inside that building? It's a real estate sale?
It's a real estate sale that's going on in many places, where they're selling and offering land in the West Bank in 48 territories, but particularly a lot of the...
Wait, how can you sell land in the West Bank?
So that's why part of why we're here. It's illegal, actually, by international law under the Geneva Convention. You're not allowed...
Doesn't it violate like housing laws in New York State?
First of all, it violates international laws.
Biden CNN interview airing at 7 p.m. today. No more weapons for Israel if they invade Rafah. Yo! President Biden tells Aaron Burnett that if Israel invades the city of Rafah, the U.S. will stop supplying with artillery shells, bombs, and fighter jets, and other offensive weapons. Someone should tell him that Israel is already in Rafah. Also, offensive weapons and defensive weapons is the funny one because they can still send weapons and be like, oh, it's just defensive weapons, actually. Don't get your hopes up. Oh, no. I'll believe it when I see it. Are you kidding me? Too little, too late, honestly. But we'll see where this goes. Everyone say thank you, Macklemore. Yeah, no, it's actually Macklemore that did this. Congratulations to Macklemore, that swagged out white boy. Disappointing. The White House has too many Hamas abusers in its staff. Shameful. After the hashtag October 7 massacre to act like this, unreal. Bro, he literally did. He got Obergefell too. Yeah, when he said, nice, Ali Khamenei, supreme leader of Iran. Yeah, Macklemore said, when I was in 3rd grade, I thought I was gay. And then gay marriage was legalized. Think about that. What new fresh hells will Macklemore deliver to us now? Civilians have been killed in Gaza as a consequence of those bombs and other ways in which they will go after population centers, Biden told CNN's Aaron Burnett in an exclusive interview. I made it clear if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone in Rafah yet. If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that are being used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities that deal with that problem. Joe Biden's so late, they're busy showing off their Rafah synagogue. I thank the Walla journalists for uncovering the truth that I have been warning about since October. The ends of the murderous attack on Gaza are not Israeli security and the release of hostages. They are not even the dismantling of Hamas. The true end, a messianic and deranged one, is the implementation of the psychopathic murderous subjugation plan devised by the racist Bezalel Smotrich, the uprooting of the Palestinian people from their homeland. My man added him too. He said, "F you, Bezalel," by expulsion and extermination to take over their lands and the full establishment of a theo-fascist racial regime. We won't let them. We will fight with all of our power against those gangs of blood, race, and tears. In the video below, the 162nd Division of the Occupation Forces established the first synagogue in Eastern Rafah. CNN article, video unrelated. Yeah, we'll get to the video when it comes out. Gonna come out in an hour. Someone should let Biden know that they're doing this stuff. But
secondly, it violates American real estate housing laws, which is the Fair Housing Act and the Civil Rights Act, Housing Act, which both say that you cannot discriminate based on race, ethnicity, or religious background. So it would violate all of those things. So we're here to stand against that, and particularly with the climate, with an ongoing genocide happening right now on the people in Gaza, and an uproar of violence also in the West Bank, where I feel that it's very flagrant to do this at this moment.
there's nothing funnier to me than like a dude rocking IDF gear next to an Israeli flag telling counter-protesters to go back to Paterson, New Jersey. It's like, what does that mean? I think Paterson, New Jersey is like, I guess it's like a heavy Muslim area or something. But it's like, bro, you're literally wearing an IDF jersey next to the Israeli flag, barely over 5'2", telling people to go back to somewhere else. It's like, where are you from? Little guy. Little guy. Where are you from, little guy? Where are you from, little man?
This is brutal. That's pretty nasty to say. Like, so after they took the land, Egypt and Jordan wouldn't take the people. It's like, listen, we stole your land. Here, take your people. And they just wouldn't take it. How selfish. After we took land from the Native Americans, no one in South America or Canada would take them in. It was just, or South America, Canada, Europe, no other country would take them in. We're like, here, you take them. We don't want them. We just took their land.
There's nothing more ironic than saying that as a Jewish person in 2024 on U.S. soil, when America historically literally refused to take in Jewish refugees that were escaping the Nazi regime. Like, the idea that you're like, no one wanted you, love. It's like, bro, your great-grandfather was almost murked by the Nazis on the same soil that you are now chirping in the exact same Larian way. How stupid are you, dude? Do you not know your own people's history? What are we doing here? How ridiculous. Literally, bro, it is no different than like the American Bund movement, okay? Yelling at like Jews with a megaphone in like the 1930s, being like, nobody wants you. America doesn't want you here.
Explain what's going on inside the synagogue. There's a real estate sale.
There's a real estate sale selling stolen property, which was stolen, stolen land that was stolen from the Palestinian people. Now, this is recognized internationally as illegal settlements, at least some of it. And this is, as Jewish people, we should not steal, and we should not sell stolen property. We should not share property that has been stolen. According to Judaism, if one shares with a thief, is considered a thief. And especially when this is happening in this time, while this genocide is taking place in Gaza, which is only making everything worse. What is happening in Gaza is...
Wow, this guy's a real anti-Semite, man. Classic anti-Semitic tendency coming from this dude, you know? Classic. Where are the cops? They need to kill this man immediately, you know? In an effort to defend Jewish people, we must immediately sick the rabid dogs of the state on this dude.
Is disastrous. This mass murder of the Palestinian people is unacceptable. And the danger that the occupation of Palestine is causing for Jews is also unacceptable.
So you're saying that's making Jewish people less safe?
Certainly it is. In addition to the injustice of it, it is making, it is endangering Jewish people. And all of this should not happen in the first place. And unfortunately, what this is going on, continuing, making everything worse. And as I said, especially in this time. And on top of all, why in a synagogue? Why in a holy place? This is either a political move or a financial move. This has nothing to do with religion. Happens to be that all of this is forbidden.
So it has nothing to do with religion.
No.
So selling real estate in a synagogue, that's not a practice. That's not a common practice at all.
It's not a religious practice. It's either a financial practice.
I'm not Jewish, so I need you to tell me. Explain this to me.
It's either a financial practice, or a political one, or a criminal one. Yeah. But nothing to do with religion. And I'll explain you why in the synagogue. Because the movement of Zionism since day one is misusing religion to justify all crimes it is committing. While the movement of Zionism is officially secular. They don't even claim to be religious. Yeah. And why do they misuse the religion? Just in order to to confuse the masses, to have the world think and believe as if all Jews.
It's so funny that like these guys are, I don't know if these guys are directly Neturei Karta, but there are many Hasidic sects, like many Orthodox Jewish sects that under the tenets of Judaism consider Israel and consider Zionism to be abhorrent. Some because they find it unconscionable that Jews in the name of Judaism would go and kill so many people. Others, oh, it says NKUSA. They are Neturei Karta. So the thing is, yeah, they are Neturei Karta, NKUSA.org. These guys also personally believe that Jews, according to Judaism, are to remain stateless until the Messiah comes, right? So they find it to be heretical to do an advocacy for a ethno-state, a Jewish ethno-state specifically. So there's also a religious, like a theological underpinning to their movement. And beyond that, there's also obviously like developed sympathies towards the Palestinian plight as a consequence of being on the right side of history. And what is Neturei Karta? Neturei Karta is one sect of ultra-Orthodox Judaism. Orthodox Judaism is a relatively new invention inside of Judaism. Ironic because like you would think that these guys are they look like they are the older sect, but it's actually a newer sect of Judaism in comparison to the to how long Judaism has been around. However, obviously, ultra-Orthodox Judaism also goes in the other direction as well. So make no mistake, if you go to New York, if you go to like an ultra-Orthodox community in New York, like the dudes who built the Chabad tunnels, right? Like those guys are very, very pro-Israel. So make no mistake, there is much discourse amongst Orthodox Jews, as well as Jews as a whole. Neturei Karta is also less of a sect and more of a political group within the Litvak Haredi Judaism. They aren't Hasidic. Not all Orthodox are Hasidic. I thought Haredi was just another. I thought it was all Orthodox. If you're Haredi, and like Haredi is like a more aggro version of just like being Orthodox. Like Ben Shapibo is an Orthodox Jew, so he follows. He keeps obviously everybody keeps kosher. He does the burning of the kitchen-ish. And then Haredi, not Hasidic. Hasidic is Haredi, but not all Haredi are Hasidic. What's the I genuinely don't know the distinction between. Yes, you're right about Haredi. Hasidic is a mystical form of Orthodox Judaism. Hasidim are mixed on Zionism depending on their specific sect. You got these wonderful people in the video and the nutcases in the West Bank, some of which also follow Hasidic sect. Yeah. You also have Orthodox Jews in Jerusalem that are also a part of either Neturei Karta or other sects inside of Orthodox Judaism that are also very anti-apartheid. That's why you see dudes that look like him getting beat up by the Israeli police force on a regular basis inside of Israel. Anyway, my point is, these guys believe that there is no theological justification for Jews to have a nation state, let alone an ethno state, let alone in the historic land that Israel is built on top of. and that they will naturally, throughout the course of history, once the Messiah returns, be granted a nation state when the time comes. But beyond that, there are obviously like different kinds of Orthodox sects that believe that the Messiah is here, like the dudes that were building the tunnels. I think those are one of the Messiah guys, right? Like the ultra Orthodox Jews that are that believe. Yeah, there's Messianic Chabadniks that believe that the Messiah actually is a real person that came, Chabad Lubavitch, and those guys are definitely the Chabad Lubavitch guys are not pro-Palestine at all, and those guys are the very right-wing Orthodox Jews that you hear from time to time. The ones that are the ones specifically in New York that have a lot of issues with education, get state funding, and also have like their own version of the police force and inside of MWIII. Basically, what I'm trying to say is it goes to show that the notion that Jews are monolithic in their understanding, or Jews are monolithic as a whole, is probably one of the most anti-Semitic and also ahistorical perspectives that you could have on Judaism. What's the joke? It's like you got 2 Jews, 8 opinions or something. Like, it's just Judaism in and of itself is the most debate-lord religion of all time. 2 Jews, 3 opinions. So obviously the notion that, you know, the notion that like all Jews are monolithic in their approach to Judaism, all Jews are monolithic in their understanding of Israel could not be far from the truth. You know, very, very frustrating that people presented as stars. Wouldn't that be like saying all Christians are the same? Yes, but even more so inside, especially inside of Judaism, because a big part of like the analysis of the Talmud literally revolves around debating it. So like debate is literally baked into not just the core, not just like the Jewish culture in general, but like baked into the religion. Bam. They're OG debate lords in general. Basically, different Hasidic sects have different dynasties of main rebbes. The Chabad community often believes that the 7th Rebbe Menachem Mendel Schneerson, who died like 30 years ago, is actually, yeah, this is the best one, who actually died 30 years ago, is still actually alive and is the Messiah. It's pretty insane. That's my favorite one. Those are also the guys who are the most like proselytizing, I feel like, out of all the different sects. They're the guys who are like, they're the guys who will walk up to you if you look Jewish. Yes, I'm saying what you think I'm saying. They will literally walk up to you if they suspect you of being Jewish and be like, would you like to join our cult? Yeah, to proselytize is forbidden, except for those guys. They love proselytizing. They don't give a shit. But they proselytize to Jews, suspected Jews, who they think are Jewish. They don't like go up to someone who is, I mean, if someone says like, nah, I'm Muslim, they're not like, okay, we'll join our cult. They want everyone to do a tefillin. It's a mitzvah.
To support this movement, and as if the Jewish
they don't proselytize. I said that. They don't technically proselytize. Their goal is to get Jewish people to become Orthodox. They're not interested in converting people.
Condones the existence of the state of Israel, the occupation of Palestine, or all criminal actions it commits. All of this is...
I know a suspicious amount about Jewish folklore, Judaism, Jewish culture. Think about that. That's why I'm the anti-Semite of the week, baby. You already know, always. Very suspicious how much I know about different kinds of Jews, as you say, Muslim boy.
This is unacceptable. All of this is embarrassing for Jewish people, and as I said, dangerous to Jewish people as well.
Is it part of the sect that you're from that like you don't believe that we should return to the Holy Land until the Messiah comes?
Exactly. According to Judaism, one of the basics of Jewish belief is the concept of Jewish exile, which according to Judaism is a divine decree. In other words, Jewish people are in exile not because of an accident, not because of the lack of Jewish power. We believe that this is a divine decree, that Jewish people are required to accept the decree of God and not fight against it, attempting to end Jewish exile by any physical means, which is basically the Zionist philosophy. goes in total contrast of basics of Jewish beliefs. This will be forbidden in Judaism, even without any crimes to it, even if it's in total peace with everyone. But when this happens in Palestine by committing so many crimes against the indigenous population of the land, it's just adding so many additional...
You should either thank or blame Felix for that knowledge. No, I didn't learn this from Felix. I learned most of it from being pro-Palestine, actually, for years and years and years. Also, I was born in New Jersey, so as this chatter correctly pointed out, it is epigenetic. If you are born inside of the tri-state region, your knowledge of different Orthodox sects just comes, it's like beamed into your brain.
Right, to be Orthodox Jews. Our movement, our organization is Nature Karte, but what we are presenting is basic Judaism with no nicknames to it. It's Judaism that all Jews believed in for thousands of years without any exception. There's nothing new, I am saying. All that changed is over 100 years ago when the movement of Zionism started by Theodor Herzl, outspoken heretics who didn't follow Judaism, didn't even claim to follow Judaism, and only they came up with a philosophy which is in total contrast to traditional Judaism. Now, whether one wants to disagree with us, that's the personal opinion of the individual. But nobody can say that what we are presenting is new. We are presenting traditional Judaism. People might today, for one reason or another, choose something else, which is the choice of the individual, which I discourage.
See? Listen, bro. Debate lord, bro. Do you understand me? This man is in a permanent state of debate. He's like, listen, you can disagree with me. I discourage it, but you can disagree with me nonetheless. I'm telling you, dude, it's the most debate lord religion out there, straight up. It's also very fun. It's like Mormonism in the way that you have so many different like loopholes and shit.
But that's the choice of the individual. Don't you say that Zionism, as I once saw at the Zionist rally, a sign saying Moses was a Zionist. That this is a...
Why wasn't he a Zionist?
No, this is a joke. Yeah. This is a simple joke, because Zionism is something which is a new philosophy, going in total contrast to traditional Judaism. There is no way that you can say that Zionism is Judaism. People do say so, but it doesn't make any sense. We should be very careful, never allow the conflation of Zionism with Judaism. This is not the same. If one criticizes Zionists, I appreciate that, and I'll tell you why. Because I appreciate the people that define the right definition to what.
I love how the sun has started to set during the process of this conversation, like it's getting darker. Yeah, bro. My man is a yapper, okay? He is the lore master. Dressed to the task too. He do be looking like a lore master. That is the dude I would go to be like, excuse me, sir, can you give me the lore, please? Like, he looks like a quest giver.
They criticize. Rather than criticizing Jews, which I discourage to do, because not all Jews are committing these crimes. If you want to criticize the people doing it. Now, I'm not here to encourage people to criticize others, because I wish that everybody would be honest and just and religious and please God, and nobody will have to be criticized. But unfortunately, since these crimes are taking place, and since people should, as a moral duty, people should stand.
To clarify, the sect has pretty weird opinions outside of Palestine, I'm assuming? Yes. I mean, one quick way to figure that out is by noticing that there are no women present.
Up and speak up against evil. The actions of Zionists, the actions of the Zionist state of Israel should be condemned, should be criticized. But let's define it accurately. Let's not...
Let's hear what this has to say.
Everybody know what I'm about to talk to you about happened before October 7th. I'm going to talk about radicalism on college campuses. Sort of radicalism that has mainstream students getting propaganda, whether it's from their professors or whether it's from communist Chinese government through TikTok.
How is this any different than literally Fox News? Is a question I am going to keep asking myself over and over again. How is Morning Joe any different?
Calling the President of the United States Genocide Joe. Calling you and President Clinton war criminals. Actually stopping the naming of a building after Madeleine Albright.
Bro, what are you talking about? She's a war criminal who literally said 500,000 dead Iraqis as a consequence of sanctions that her husband put in place, by the way. You're literally talking to another war criminal psychopath about another war criminal psychopath. Madeleine Albright famously said 500,000 dead Iraqi children is just the cost of doing business. She was directly asked, the sanctions that we are placing on Iraq has led to 500,000 dead Iraqi children, to which her response was, that's the cost of doing business. He's asking a war criminal to defend another war criminal. Yup.
But 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And you know, is the price worth it?
I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
We think the price is worth it. These demons are why I hope in my heart that maybe there is a hell and a heaven, and I hope that they are burning in eternal damnation.
This woman made history, just like you made history.
Doing war crimes, Joe. Made history doing war crimes. We saw he died.
Mainstream college students, I know, because I've talked to a lot of college students over the past year or two. They have this radicalized view of the Middle East, a radicalized view of American public.
Why aren't these children just as rabidly Islamophobic as we are? What is going on? Why aren't these kids just as Islamophobic as we are? How are we losing sight of the expert propagandizing that we once were committed to? I don't know, man. Maybe because all of these kids that you're talking about were born after 9/11 and they didn't actually develop a consciousness in that time frame where they were also just as rabidly Islamophobic and just kind of saw that as like background noise, especially the many L's that America took post 9/11. Maybe that's the reason why they're not as feverish, you monster. Oh my God, I hate these scumbags so much. How do we get these kids to be just as racist? Please give me the take here. I need to understand. Why are these children and these kids and these college students saying like relentless baby murder is not permissible? I hate that. We got to get this TikTok out of here.
Can name Republican presidents as well. It's distressing. What do we do about it so public servants aren't taught that American leaders are war criminals and that Joe Biden's not Genocide Joe?
He's literally mad that younger generations have the correct view. All of these screechings of the media class about issues such as this one, by the way, are basically going against the spirit of democracy. They talk a big game about how they love free speech and how they love discourse and how discourse should thrive in a normal functioning democracy. And then they literally turn around and they're just mad that the kids are correct. Why are they calling our presidents war criminals? What happened? What happened to America? We used to be a nation. I don't know, bitch. Maybe you should give people something to be proud of, and then maybe they'll be more proud of America's accomplishments. It's ridiculous. Kids these days, the next generation and my generation as well, have nothing to look forward to. Why the should they be proud of America? Like, all we have seen in our development is endless and senseless death and destruction overseas, and the inevitable consequence of said senseless death and destruction. No money in the banana stand for healthcare, the roads, education, no public transit. Life is getting more and more costly, more expensive. No dream of being able to own a home or be able to retire at a reasonable age. No sense of autonomy, no sense of security. Why aren't these kids dick riding America? They can get their burgers. It's like, what the have you given us? What has your generation given us to be proud of? Nothing. Nothing. Why the should they be proud? You're mad that they're not dumbasses like your freak ass generation was. Why aren't these kids more lead poisoned like our generation is, and more aggressive and more violent and stupid? I can't believe it. I can't believe they're seeing the truth of the American project for what it is. A bunch of different corporations with imperial ambitions of global dominance that does not reflect positively in the in-group either.
If the communist Chinese will allow it to get on YouTube, please tell any students watching what President Clinton and you put together in 2000.
Dude. This is literally Morning Joe is just straight up Fox News, dude. straight up Fox News. Isn't it wonderful that this is the one program that Joe Biden watches? Just absolutely unhinged. China controls YouTube. Qatar controls the kids' minds because Al Jazeera. These are the same scumbags that will, in the inevitable turn when Donald Trump does become president of our glorious nation, will turn around and be like, why are you guys doing conspiracy theories? Remember those ads from like early 2016, 2017, 2018, like New York Times would do ads like, this is an apple, but some people think it's an orange, but it's actually an apple. This is why truth matters. This is what the liberal media has become under the Brandon regime. Remember, MSNBC is supposed to be the liberal version of Fox News.
Oslo Accords. You gave the Palestinians a pathway to peace, and they were scared to take it because they knew they would be slaughtered by Hamas.
That's so funny that this ahistorical nonsense is still being repeated by Morning Joe, even though I've showed on this broadcast time and time again how hard he got owned. Zbigniew Brzezinski, his father-in-law, on this exact issue. I'm not going to do it again, as I've shown you time and time again. That is 4 minutes of sloppy toppy gawk guac 3000 Suckmaster 11 that you just saw from Joe Scarborough. Holy dude, that boy could suck the chrome out of the tailpipe. He's got a mouth that won't quit. He's got the spirit, dude. Hillary getting back at Bill with this incredible amount of public dome that she's receiving. Maybe not in the Oval Office, but at least in front of many, many Americans on Morning Joe, including certified throat goat. It's looking like the Oral Office right now. Joe would put Nancy Reagan to shame.
First of all, I have had many conversations, as you have had, with a lot of young people over the last many months now. And you're right. They don't know very much at all about the history of the...
Yeah, in the process of sucking their spinal cord fluid to ensure that me and my pedophilic vampire husband remain alive to see the continuation of the Israeli apartheid ethnic cleansing campaign. We were talking to them before we killed them and sucked the spinal fluid directly out of their spine, straight to the goddamn dome for that delicious adrenochrome. Talk to them. Don't think you're scared of arguing against her, but you don't think a significant amount of younger voters refusing to vote over Israel-Palestine is indicative of not understanding what someone like Trump would do in office? You and I do not see the world in the same exact ways. If you have this kind of attitude, you think that the Democratic Party is entitled to people's votes. I do not, because I actually understand how politics works. You, on the other hand, are a relentless dick rider of the Democratic Party who believe they are entitled to people's votes because of lesser evil voting. Whether I agree with lesser evil voting or not doesn't matter, because Americans demonstrably do not vote on lesser evil voting margins. They do not care about lesser evil voting. That is why the plurality in this country historically doesn't vote for either party. The plurality of eligible voters in this country does not vote for either party. Now, obviously, this is a more complicated situation than simply not having like a decent elected representative to vote for. However, that is a major part of the problem. If the Democratic Party genuinely made efforts to capture broader swaths of the voter-eligible population while simultaneously opening up easier ways of voting against the Republican efforts to stop people from voting, especially poor people and young people, people of color in general, then perhaps they would have an easier time with these elections. They should have an easier time with elections. The problem on this issue, however, as far as like Israel-Palestine goes, and you are talking to someone who has laid a big amount of the blame in Trump administration's mishandling of Israel-Palestine, okay, especially for October 7th, but one that also recognizes that we currently don't have Donald Trump in office. We currently have Joe Biden in office. And Joe Biden, perhaps also channeling that same exact idiotic sentiment that many Democratic wonks channel, that like, people should of course vote for us. We're not bad as the other guys. Duh. You should do a little bit of reading, sweetie, and learn that like Trump would be so much worse. Don't recognize that Joe Biden is pretty awful right now, and he shouldn't be awful, just in an effort to show Americans it is actually different under a Democratic administration in comparison to a Republican one. Joe Biden is repeating the exact same that the Trump administration did in an effort to stop people from protesting against Israel right now. Peaceful protesters all around the country are getting brutalized by the police for the crime peacefully declaring Israel an apartheid regime and criticizing our involvement in Israel's apartheid and also Israel's current ethnic cleansing campaign. The idea that voters are going to think critically beyond this and go, you know what, this administration that keeps telling me that like they are better than the Trump administration, that completely adopted the Trump administration's very own right-wing white nativist immigration policy, that also was engaging in the same kind of suppression of free speech and public demonstration, this time for the crime of saying never again means never again. We should not have blood in our hands, Palestinian children's blood in our hands specifically. Why the f are we funding and facilitating this ethnic cleansing campaign? Those people getting violently and brutally suppressed by the police, those people should turn around and just simply vote for the Democratic Party because like we promised that the Democratic Party is going to be better.
So this is a very important piece of history to understand if you're going to take any kind of position with respect to what's going on right now. And there's much more that we could go into, as you say, since 1948, but I mean, you could literally go back thousands of years. The important point I want to emphasize, though, is...
Isn't it easy?